you're barely keeping it together.
Mhm.
The trash is piling up. These girls are like eating fried chicken every night, Spike.
Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes.
Hello, and welcome to the 12th episode of Season 5 of Your Mom's Pahdcast, the only podcast that's worth walking out on a date with one of Degrassi's coolest girls. I'm Caroline,
I'm Avis.
and today we are joined by Emily once again, this time to discuss Degrassi Season 5, episodes 15 and 16. Our lips are sealed. Hi, Emily.
Woot woot.
Hello, thank you so
Hello
much for
there.
having me back.
Thank you so much
Thank you
for coming back.
coming back. Yes.
Especially with
Jinx.
such short notice.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm always down to discuss more Degrassi.
We gave you very little note. We're like, yes. Come
Yes.
right back.
Oh, I'm here. Luckily,
This is
I'm
a good
always in the
one.
midst of a rewatch, so it's always fresh on my mind.
Beautiful.
I love that.
Always something new to discuss. I'm so excited.
There's so much shit in this episode
There's
too.
so
well.
much shit in this. My notes are extensive.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have how many shots fired?
Yeah,
I have
20.
34 shots fired.
Girl, you were I knew you were. See, it's like the ones that I get. I have to get the ones that I'm like, oh, that hits the ear. But I'm like, I know the shots fired. Oh, I know that one's a shots fired too. But then I'm like, Caroline will get that shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not get nearly that many shots fired, and I feel
I had like 23.
I feel like the things I wrote down, I can't even say were shots fired 100% of the time. They were just like, why did you say that?
Well, I
That's
think
fine.
it's
I allow
beautiful,
it.
and that is gonna make for like a varied discussion. You know, we're gonna have like this, a little bit of this, and I'm gonna be like, oh, I didn't realize that was the shots fired to you. I love the interpretations. Every time a guest comes on, they're like, well, either I did this category or I said fuck this category entirely.
Yeah.
It's like, I didn't really find any, and we've got like 72.
Well, like a million.
Like, well, okay, let's just go back and forth then.
Yes.
So I'm gonna be excited to see down the road what you've got. So
Me too. I can't wait to hear what the overlap is.
yes.
Let's get
Oh,
this
man.
started then.
Yes,
Okay. You want me to
absolutely.
read the poem
And the
Still have this
synopsis
shit
if
open.
you don't mind.
and the synopsis? I'll do it. Roses are red, the struggle is real, and it's causing Emma to skip her meals.
Jesus, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's me, and that is in poor fucking taste, and I'm gonna own that. Okay. All right.
How do you think I feel
Well.
having to write these poems? The morning
Oh my god.
The morning that we aired When Doves Cry, I woke up early, I smoked a joint, I put on the episode, I heard the poem, and I was like, fuck, this is not okay.
Scared.
I
And
messaged
this is
Charlie, I'm
why-
like, can you take this down and put it up without the poem?
Like,
and this
no.
is why you don't need sponsors.
Right, because they would be
Shit
like,
that.
absolutely fucking not.
You may not. Oh
And
my
that's
god.
the most quality part of the show. Okay,
Oh,
so
man.
That's
Alright.
still my proudest poem, though.
You
I've had some
are
good
an
ones.
artist. All right.
Have you heard that one, Emily?
No, I haven't. Which one? What is
The
it?
one for When Doves Cry, the episode where Craig's dad beats him, is
Wait, I think you may have. I can't
roses are
remember it, though.
red, violets are purple like Craig's bruises. Albert Manning is trash, so his son he abuses.
Yeah.
I think you may have told me about this one on the last episode because it has flooded back to me now.
It's like my proudest piece of
That's
writing ever.
There is
artwork.
no way that would get past anybody.
But if they get Pulitzer Prizes for writing 4-line Roses Are Red poems about Degrassi episodes,
No,
Like,
you're
you
taking it,
would
honey.
I would have
take
it.
You'd have it in
You'd have it in
bag.
spades.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Sorry for that
little tangible.
Here. Between her broken home, her slipping grades, and her secret relationship with Slimeball Peter, Emma has reached her capacity for stress. Desperate for some semblance of control, Emma turns to disordered eating and tries to pull Manny along with her. Also in this episode, Snake moves home, Joey disappears, and Hazel and Alex get kicked out of the mall twice.
The B plots are so good.
They are.
The plots are so great in this episode. I mean, like, one of them directly ties into the A plot. So
Right.
Yeah, no, I feel like let's start with the C plot, the Hazel and Alex.
Yeah, we can. I think that'll probably be the easiest to tie up, but it's the one that I found the most delightful because I don't know why I enjoy Alex and Hazel as friends more than like enemies. Like they just do so well being like cute together.
I love that what they bond over is how fucking hard it is to love Paige.
To love Paige. They're like, you can't even fucking imagine. Like, oh wait, maybe you can.
But maybe
it's worth it though.
It's bond over this.
They love her, but it's like, geez, she puts you through the fucking ringer sometimes.
No, like my last note was like, I really like this plot. Everyone's being very mature. Like, yes, as they're throwing hot cocoa at each other, but that like everybody kind of expressed their feelings and worked through them.
Right.
The fact that they haven't been banned from the mall yet is insane to me.
They might. They should be. Because who the fuck is cleaning that up? That's all I can ever think about during these fucking...
Accountability was held for them after which one of them dove behind the counter to get
Hazel.
Cream. Hazel
was risking it all for the whipped cream canister.
Why?
Fucking over the counter, honey, over the counter, and then Paige is throwing biscotti cake pops. I have a problem with
$4 a pop.
Those are super bougie, you know. This is pre-cake pop Starbucks.
It was early 2000s, so they were probably only like $2 a pop.
True.
Inflation, that's like $6 now. I don't know how much actual cake pops cost because I've never purchased one.
I don't think I've ever had a cake pop.
I've had them, but I've miraculously never purchased them.
They don't sound good to me.
Like, it's basically mushing
Dry
up.
cake.
So what you do is you literally ball up a cake, and then you add icing to it, and then you ball it up even more, and then put more like icing over it, and then stick a
ball of icing.
Put a stick in there at some point, and then let it set.
There are other ways for me to get my sugar.
There are certainly other ways that aren't like a literal sugar bomb because it's got like 6 to 8 scoops of icing per capita. Like, it's huge. Like,
blow up.
I've only ever had like 1 or 2 in a sitting. Like, they are like not, and I think they're good. When they first started being popular, they were like a baby shower thing or like a party thing. So I feel like that's where I've had them. I've never paid for them at like a Starbucks or anything.
Well, and I feel like a cake pop made for a baby shower or whatever is probably better than a Starbucks cake pop.
Yes, I would imagine so. And even then, just 2 of them, and that's it.
Yeah.
You don't really need any more than that.
If you think about it, maybe Paige was doing everyone a service by
just
launching
them.
Coffee shop.
She was like, I thought that they were projectiles. They literally look like little balls. Yes. Sorry.
It was really Paige projecting the jealousy she talked about having for Emma earlier in the episode. by throwing the cake pops everywhere. Yes.
She made a statement.
She made a statement.
Down with the cake pop industry, the burgeoning cake pop industry. I have such a problem with the makeup, the whipped cream makeup. And I think obviously they had to do it, but the way that it's like HD has not been kind to this makeup. I will just say that it's dry. It's giving it's activating like my ick of some kind of just like the texture of it because it's dried.
Yes.
There's a word for whatever that ick is, but it's icking me out.
Just crusty.
It's crusty. It's
And I had a moment of being like, maybe this would be a good caption contest for that week, and then I was like, no,
you don't even want to go there because the way that, and I will say this, if you are in our Facebook community, I love you. We are 351 members strong as of recording.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. But y'all be doing a little bit too much with these minors.
Sexualizing these kids is never going to be the way to win the caption contest. Just FYI.
That's never the goal.
I think we did finally let a Hawk Tuah caption win. But if we did, it was really good, and it was after the Hawk Tuah buzz had died down.
Did we do that?
I think we might have eventually let a Hawk Tuah through.
That would have been fairly recently because I refused to let any sort of coattails of that shit.
Now I want to check.
353 members strong.
What?
So, I'm joined.
Yeah.
Thank you. Love that for us. Beautiful. And I like 353 because it's like
no, we did do a Hawk Tuah, but it's Ellie spitting orange juice into the sink.
Oh, okay. That's why we did why we did that.
Well,
it was a good Hawk Tuah.
It was a good. It was a tasteful Hawk Tuah.
It was a tasteful Hawk Tuah.
Yeah, we have to have, if nothing else, we must maintain our taste.
Yes.
Nothing else. I refuse to let that go.
But yeah, if you're in our Facebook community, keep it up with the caption contest, but tone it down with the sexualizing the kids. And if you're not in our Facebook community,
please
join
that,
because we have
dust
caption
off your
contests,
Facebook,
and they're a good time.
Not to endorse. We have fuck Meta. No endorsement to Meta. I literally just use my Facebook for groups. Okay. And crafts at this point.
Yep.
Groups and crafts. Okay.
Same here.
Groups
just
and
try
crafts.
my Facebook groups and crafts. I'm in so many Facebook groups.
Right. Like it's at this point I'm so tuned into all of my niche interests in group form. Like where am I going to get all my spoilers? Where am I going to get all of my set picks? Where am I going to get all of my memes, my crossover
Where am I
memes,
going
my
to get all of the crochet patterns that I'm never going to make?
Exactly.
You should just say, be like, I'm going to make this, and you don't. That is what Facebook is good for.
I feel like we're describing Pinterest, but
Pinterest needs to work on its interface.
Yeah, I never got into Pinterest.
AI.
I have it, right, but it's very like body, and it's like they integrate the ads into the tiles, so like sometimes you click on something and it's like, go buy this now, and it's like, I thought that this was just a
Pinterest
thought I was enlarging a photo
app, and I don't like it.
Yeah,
Pinterest. I used to get ideas from there all the time, but now
I have it. I just don't. It doesn't inspire.
There are better options.
There are better options.
Facebook groups.
Like Facebook groups, yeah. People are very crafty. Hazel is suddenly like matters to Paige. I will say that. Like the way that just a couple episodes ago, Paige was like, "You can go fuck yourself, Hazel." Like I actually love it's flipping. Like I actually love her.
Yeah.
So you could go fuck yourself, Hazel. I don't know why I hang out with you. And then she's like, okay, like basically trashing Hazel with her. And then she's like, oh no, I love that girl. She's important to me. You better be nicer to her, or you could go fuck yourself. Saunters off, throws away whatever was in that bag.
That's the kind of fucking. That's the fucking kind of friend that Hazel deserves.
Hazel has deserved this
friend
friend.
that Hazel
yes.
has been.
Hazel has been deserved. Yes.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, but this would have been nice previously. It's a season 5.
Yeah.
You know, better late than not at all. But still, late.
It's very high school. They have so much more growth to do in their like relationship maturity with each other. And I feel like a lot of that doesn't really actually happen until after they graduate. Like,
and Hazel disappears.
And then Hazel just disappears.
Hazel dropped that cap and rode off into
literally.
If you haven't watched it, Emily, there is actually a great Andrea Lewis movie that we did for Film Club a few months ago on Hulu.
3 Ways.
Called 3 Ways. It is
Very
about
good.
a 3-way.
And
spoiler alert. She does a great job, and you get to see them titties.
And it's sexy.
It's sexy.
It's hard to, I think we give it credit in the actual episode, but like, it's hard to make a movie with simulated sex, not only sexy, but like without, like the lead up to the simulated sex is still sexy. Like, I think that's pretty, and like, very pretty, like very well cast, and them titties are chef's
and
kiss.
Titties.
So
they are beautiful.
That's like a pretty key selling point. I mean,
I think if you're gonna sign on, right? If you're gonna sign on for anything, I purely would sign on for titties.
Yes,
but our highest tier is TiddySnake in a completely different context, but almost.
I have to just give a nod to the Hazel line. If you really want to know how bad a freeze out can get, phone up Ashley Kerwin.
Yes, right. Ashley was on the outs for like
years.
Behind
She's
that hag comment.
They're still not really okay.
She's never gonna fully come back from that. It was a really shit moment.
And it was so earnest. Like, she's high as a kite. Yeah. And that's what she says.
Like, drunk words.
Everybody knows when you're high as a kite. Right. Like, there's no coming back from that. 8th grade roasted.
Yeah.
So like, bad. I feel bad.
Oh man,
so bad.
I always feel bad for Ashley just because she had to play the character, and so many people feel either such aggressive dislike towards her or just nothing. Like,
I asked her about that at the panel that they did at the con last year. I think there's a clip of it on our TikTok of like what were the effects as like an actual teenage girl of playing like the first maligned lady of Degrassi.
And I love when you ask that question, because it's like, you didn't say that you didn't really say, but then you kind of just like piped up, and it like suddenly everyone was looking over at us, and I was like, oh, hi. And it was a great question. And I think even Melissa said that's a great question.
Yeah, I'm good at things like that.
So it was, and I mean, like, that is one of the things that has made, I think, through this podcast and looking at it in a critical sense, but also like being the age that I am and like having gone through things since initially watching and like trying to put myself in the first viewing versus now, but versus everything in between, you know? I'm like, okay, I really did not fuck with this character, and now I see why. There's a lot of misogyny, and like, there's a lot of things that is just a typical teenage girl that's why she gets hated on. Yeah, and she's not even worse than a lot of other teenage girls. I would say, like, comparatively, she's actually quite mild.
No, and that's like over the course of like the last 4 seasons, I went from an Ashley Kerwin hater to like, I love Ashley.
Ashley said, I'm going to go the fuck to England. And I'm gonna not come back for a
I
good
am
deal of time.
protecting my
Seriously. She
peace.
needed that for herself. And like this was all after being treated so horribly by the men in her life. Like
Craig,
she got so much shit when Craig is a fan favorite and like
Craig is celebrated for
he's
all of the
celebrated
things
for all
that
the
he's
shit
done
he does.
wrong.
Like
The fact that he blamed Manny for the coke,
yeah.
people completely forget that. They
Yep.
completely forget like how he terrorizes Ellie
Mhm.
in
Legitimately
Degrassi Goes Hollywood.
terrorizes her.
And honestly, emotionally terrorizes her before that.
Yeah.
Like he like there the rolling in the sheets prior to him going off. Is it the last episode? Is it Eye Against Eye? What
I
is
think
it?
so.
Yeah.
When Ellie convinces him to get the fuck out of town because literally you're the only thing keeping you here, dude. Like everybody else doesn't really want to do this shit like that, like you do. He manipulates his way around, like emotionally around Ellie. And like nobody ever holds him accountable for those things. You know why the fandom hates her? Because she deleted Jimmy's rap.
Well, I think the other big thing
And there's other things, but
is how she is in the episode about her dad coming out. But I think there's a lot of nuance that
you
people
don't get that
ignore
as
there.
much, right?
Bad.
You
No.
that argument is like not
it's not
usually at the forefront.
like, yeah, okay, it's the shock of like your dad's gay, and I think it's okay to like take a minute to digest that.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
it's more that like her dad cheated on her mom with Christopher.
Dolly,
Her dad
Yeah.
brought her
Ashley,
around
your
this
dad
guy.
is gay.
I had my Dolly Zoom moment this week.
Yeah, just straight up just closing on her.
Your dad is gay.
Just not a. Of course, nobody wants to be judged for their. That is more of a situation that's complicated, like you said, and I would not, as someone who is gay, I would not be upset if that was the reaction. Like, to be fair, she was in her mind, and I mean deceived in a way for years. Like she wasn't told the whole story.
Yeah.
And
Right.
she feels like she should have been told the whole story. And I mean, she should have been told
She's
the whole
entitled
story.
to that. Like that's her parents.
Mm-hmm.
And like her whole structure of life looks different now.
Right. Like she's not, and of course it's shocking to her that her dad is gay. But
Right.
I don't, it's not that she's
Probably more
homophobic.
shocking that like her dad cheated on her mom with a man.
With a man,
or with
right?
anyone,
Or
period.
with anyone,
like,
right? Just cheating on.
Just cheating in general.
Yeah, and that they're still friends. Like her father and her mother don't hate each other.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It's a very
really
that's
confusing. Like
it's a confusing situation. Ashley's like
been in an adult relationship before, and like you know, most of the ones that she's told about are either like clean-cut divorces or marriages. Like, you know.
And Ashley's melodramatic. I think that's one of the biggest things you can't obviously take away from her character because she's got a lot of transformation. But like a lot of that is because socially she goes through a social upheaval and like she has to basically put herself back together in a social situation that's really shitty. Like she is not a bad person because she is trying to figure out things as she's growing up. And I think that was something that I had to realize because of the things that I have done and the things that, okay, you can judge a character, but then going through things and actually making those, not even those mistakes, but mistakes that you could like say, oh, this had similar impact or this did a similar thing. Okay, I wouldn't consider myself a shitball.
Yeah.
Or, you know, unworthy of redemption or even like someone who should be given a narrative other than she is a horrible person.
Well, she's not a horrible person. She's such a good friend on so many occasions. And
like she's a little out of touch and she can be kind of like condescending.
But like she's also the only one that went to go visit Terry in the hospital after Terry went into a literal coma. Like
Spinner and Paige
well,
were
they
going,
technically went with
actually.
her, but they stood in the hall.
Yeah, but I think it was implied that like they'd gone
Or
before.
maybe okay. But
Yeah,
he
no,
wanted to go
she was
see her.
scared. Yeah, she was scared. I think Ashley is super emotional in this time of when she and Terry, their relationship was always complicated too.
Yeah.
Because as we've recently discussed, actually maybe not as recently as because Terry's not in the fucking show anymore, but Terry was not that great. So
yeah,
no, Terry kind of
unfortunately.
Terry kind of sucked a little bit. So their relationship being something that maybe Ashley wasn't sure about and was scared to confront because it's such a emotional thing to see somebody in that state.
Yeah. Especially like seeing the results of what happened and seeing the bandages get changed. Like that's horrifying for her.
Fucking gnarly gash, head wound, and everything that they show us through a bandage. Or no, they actually do show us out of the bandage.
The bandages getting changed, yeah.
Yeah.
But like she's got a
lot.
Like
I'm getting out of there.
Deal with. Like, man, she's just a girl.
She's processing trauma. But yeah, no, I think it's funny the comment Hazel makes is just like, yeah, this is a freeze out that maybe Paige should inform you about sometime because that shit was rude.
It's some serious necessary context.
I love that we just went on like a 10-minute like detour into Ashley Kerwin. Like I love Ashley Kerwin. Okay. Is there anything more in the Hazel Alex Mall B plot?
I said now kiss. My thoughts post whipped cream fight. Who is gonna clean that up? Which I did mention. And now kiss.
Yes.
I don't know that I'm gonna elaborate on that.
Now kiss.
I don't think you need to.
I don't think I need to.
I think everybody knows
a
what
happy
was
polyamorous
meant.
triad also, if you so please.
I would so please. This is the best they've done for me.
One of those. It could be them.
I don't know if my high school was just boring. It had everything fucking else, man. It could have done that for me.
People get hit with wrenches. But
people got hit with wrenches. Well, it wasn't. It only happened once. Person got hit with a wrench.
Person got hit with a wrench.
A wrench. Yes.
I went to a tiny school, but it was just really bizarre because it was so small that there were very few rules about things. So, like, we had a forestry department where we learned how to throw axes in class.
The important things.
Yes.
Okay.
You got graded on that shit. It was great.
That shit was serious.
Yeah. We had forestry competitions.
Got it.
Just Oregon things.
Oh.
If anyone grew up in Oregon and did forestry, it was like a serious sport for people. I have never heard anyone from another state talk about forestry competitions.
No, there's a lot of forest in PA where I grew up too. True. Not at all. Never. Never in my life.
I did make note of the fact that there was more like a whole bunch of calorie talk. I mean, not a whole bunch, but that we had some heavy calorie talk in the C plot too.
Yeah.
Which I think, is very intentional and very like.
Yeah, this whole episode is steeped
even
in
without even without full blown anorexia and bulimia, like
that's
disordered
kind of just
eating
that's how it was.
Rampant.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that
still is.
It still is, but it's like the what it shifted to is protein and being super conscious about being like protein conscious and what your macros are,
Yeah.
and like how many grams you're eating per meal.
Many
Like,
of these people wouldn't even be able to explain to you what a macro is if you
I
asked
know I
them.
fucking can't.
Like, I don't know what a macro is. Why are you telling me to count them?
I could easily Google it. And you know what? I don't want to. Because there's something in me that's like, sure, I want to eat protein rich. Like, I have personally done a number of diets. And I think it's a direct result of growing up in the time that I did, where I was
I don't
super
think
concerned with eating. Like, I've always ate to satisfy some diet, low carb, no meat. Like, I was vegetarian for almost 7 years. No, it was like almost 8 years. And like right before that, I did low carb, which was just all meat. You know, no rice, no beef, none of the good things in life.
Yes.
Which is why I was like, okay, how can I safely eat a bunch of carbs and shit? No meat. Opposite of it. Like, it's extremely tiring to have to worry about what you're eating all the time.
It takes up all of your brain cells, and then whatever leftover brain cells you had are gone because you're not feeding them. Like, I don't know. I remember, like, in the throes of my teenage disordered eating, I was like, there's no way I have any kind of eating disorder because, like, I'm not anorexic. But it literally took up all of my brain. Like, it was all I thought about, and it's exhausting.
No,
Absolutely.
I think that most...
And it was so normal to do that.
It was very normal.
I think that most people, at least in this country, have some sort of disordered eating. Like, be it binge eating or full-blown anorexia or bulimia or something in between. Like, just because it's not a full-blown eating disorder, like, I don't think anybody, or I don't think not anybody, but I think a lot of people, I think the vast majority of us do not have healthy relationships with food.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Especially here, I think that, like, the fact that, I mean, it goes deeper than that, but like, obviously this isn't Canadian, this is an American thing we're talking about, but just like the way that we don't exercise daily unless we can go to the gym, or you know, there's just no natural, okay, let's walk. We have highly processed foods. That shit is cheaper than the fruits and vegetables that would make us not have health issues. And it just tastes good sometimes to eat like chips and sweet stuff and fast food,
like
and right.
I feel like at this point we should abandon this C plot and try and attack this B plot.
Well, let's go and talk about
go to B
this
plot.
tangential B plot, because it's still only this amount of notes for me.
Yeah, I've got 6 notes. My first one being Diana's a saint. Like, this snake karaoke looks like a pre-murder scene in some weird indie movie about a serial killer. Like,
you said Diana's really overindulging Snake here. She is like being very kind.
Yeah.
Because she knows the situation and she is really And I mean, you have to I think I love that they remind us that these two men were in a band.
They will never let us forget that these two men were in a band.
It's nearly every episode at this point, but it's like, just in case you forgot. Right.
Yes.
I don't know why Joey, and my note here is, I don't know why Joey is always giving terrible advice so confidently. It's like he and Caitlin are made for each other.
Yeah.
Because the snake, the sexy roofer, what the fuck are you talking about?
What is he talking about? That doesn't make any sense.
He doesn't know. He's just trying to be supportive and doing the worst iteration of being supportive.
I wrote in my notes that Snake's midlife crisis is so immature and embarrassing that I can hardly watch it.
Yeah.
And also, why does he have to be instructed on how to be romantic? He should know this by now.
No, actually.
Why are you trusting Joey to give you advice on how to get your literal wife back after you cheated on her? Like,
with your boss.
With your boss. That's really bad. Like, that's really bad.
Like, you can't be like, I will never be around her again.
Yeah.
You are going to be around her every day.
It's such a toxic situation, and Spike is like justified in being heartbroken that the innocence of their relationship, the fact that she has loved him since she was 16, which is actually true, despite the fact that other things they like to, like the fact that fucking Caitlyn and Spike were not best friends, and they just, I don't care if they're older and okay, maybe you get friends with someone, they were not friends. So the fact that they are actually true to the fact that yes, Spike always loved, with the most, like, aside from the dude that got her pregnant, Shane McKay, Snake is Spike's most, like, prominent loved interest.
Yeah.
She has she has a boyfriend for a little bit, but it's not anybody. She dates this guy because she can't date Snake. Essentially. Yeah. So I feel like it's like the innocence of their relationship is something that he just shat on it. Like, now she's got it, like, and I mean, the singing probably is what reminds her of who he was and everything, and is like,
right, because he was in a band.
He was in a band, and yeah, and literally they, what's with the penguin suit? Like, he always performed in and not a penguin suit, but the version of a vest of some kind. He had show wear that maybe it's like, oh, okay, you're all dressed up. It feels like he's trying to take her back to a time when things were innocent for them. And it's like recreating that gave her enough of that reminder to be like, okay, you're putting yourself out there and I want to re-engage. But like, it sucks that this is canon. It sucks that their innocent relationship could not just be canon. That we couldn't just get that love story of them being faithfully in love since Spike was 16, because he had other people he was in love with, but like, she had a crush and she knew, and you know, she dated other people, did her thing, but then eventually they got together and created a family. Like, it feels like we were robbed.
It feels like a betrayal of Snake's character because of all of the things we know about him from the previous series as well. Like,
it was a bad choice.
It was a really bad choice with his character. Like, him. Wait, have you guys seen Degrassi High?
And
okay.
Yeah.
But like, you know, when he calls out Joey for fucking Tessa Campanelli, like, that's a big deal to him, and you know, because he said fuck.
He doesn't,
and like, you know, he cursed. I also, speaking of that, I wrote in here, take a shot every time Snake says a substitute for fuck. It happens constantly. Anyways,
there we go. That's something I'm gonna have to pay attention to now.
That was a big deal. So why would he turn around and do that? Like, that doesn't.
It's almost like he had values and now he suddenly doesn't.
Yeah.
I can't say much more about it than, like, yeah.
I'm just so disappointed, and
it's disappointing.
I'm just disappointed, and of course, like, this is a weak ass B plot to like for Joey to be adiosing on, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what resolution do we have? The Joey's a bad, gives bad advice to his best friend.
Yep.
And sings in the shower badly, apparently, and is still trying to come at somebody else.
Yep.
For their bad singing. Where do we stand here? Not in a good place, Joey.
I guess the one good friend thing that he did was letting Snake into his house.
I don't want you to be on the street.
The bar is literal hell.
It's
Like,
Kevin Smith's homeless shelter.
Oh my gosh, Caroline. At this point,
It's canon.
it sucks.
Yes.
Because that is an explanation that I need for this
Mhm.
situation, because I've been wondering what the fucking rental arrangement is. What's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah.
If Kevin Smith is footing the bill,
It's a charitable organization. He gets tax write-offs. It's fine.
Mhm.
that makes sense to me. I'm good with that.
Simple explanation.
And I'm good on the B plot.
Yeah. But like the B plot inarguably is like a big motivator for the A plot.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
It totally
without a
is.
doubt, I think
Emma's out here stressed the
becomes
fuck
irrelevant.
out.
Like, Emma's being parentified. She has no agency. And no one's paying attention to her. Like, no one except Manny is paying attention to how she's doing.
Arguably, that is what is allowing this to kind of take a real hold in Emma's life, is because her house is disrupted.
Mhm.
Spike's not paying attention because she has a fucking demon child to raise,
Mhm.
who's being very quiet and demure in
Yes.
this episode. I don't know.
Yeah, very
But
cutesy, very mindful.
cute, so very cutesy, very mindful. But it, like, Snake is a very engaged parent.
Mhm.
He is a very observant parent.
Mhm.
So he is not even living with Emma
Yeah.
and sees these things.
Mhm.
So the fact that he is not in the house is the only real reason that Emma's able to do these things.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
if all was well, would she be able to do some, form of this? Sure. But would she be able to hide it extensively? Would she be, like, having such a strong reaction to the fact that she has little control over what she's eating
Mhm.
because Spike can't cook?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spike can't fucking cook, so she's just ordering takeout because she has to feed these kids something other than cereal and toaster strudel.
Yeah.
So it's like, girl, I need to understand, it's the perfect storm. So
Mhm.
I don't blame Emma for kind of having this, like, monstrous
Mhm.
overcorrection of a react. Like, she is just, like, trying to take some
She
control.
needs
Oh,
to
no,
regain her control, yeah.
I have so much empathy for Emma in this
Yeah.
episode. Even the,
Mhm.
like, dragging Manny into it, which, like, at times is a little much. Like, for the most part, like, I get it.
It's very
Mhm.
it's very
Like, not that
codependent.
it's okay at
It's a
all,
very
but, like,
They
codependent
have
teenage girl
yeah.
friendship thing.
Yes.
I can imagine there's so many things that I followed best friends into
Mhm.
as a teenager, as a young person.
Mhm.
There's so many things that before my frontal lobe was fully developed that I did because I felt super intertwined in this relationship, this friendship.
Mhm.
So, of course I was going to do these things. Of course we were in it together.
Yeah.
Like, that is the one thing that I've always kind of like, even when Manny's rolling her eyes and being like general and like not what, like, you can see she does not want to do this shit. She's doing it.
Mhm.
right.
She is because she is trying to not only support Emma but be in it with Emma, know
Mhm.
that it's their shared secret,
Mhm.
and also it's working for her.
Mhm.
Like, it's very believable to me, that aspect of, like, doing it together and hand holding and
Mhm.
like arm twisting can be applied to, like, so many
Yeah.
situations with
Well,
teenage girls.
yeah, and especially because, like, Manny has felt distance from Emma for a while now
Yes.
because Emma's been secretly dating Peter behind her
Yes.
back. And so, of course, she's gonna try and latch on to anything she can to bond
Right.
with her and, like, maintain that connection. Like,
Absolutely. The intimacy that's there and that's present in their relationship is not present anywhere else in Manny's life.
yeah.
And I would say in Emma's life either. Like, she had a close relationship with her mom that I
Mhm.
think that she's had to take a little bit of a step away from for the sake of their family
Mhm.
thriving. Um, so the intimacy that she experiences with Manny feels like they can do anything together. They can,
Mhm.
like, they share the common struggle or whatever. Like Manny does not want to lose that like feeling.
Yeah.
And she's gone out, like she's laid herself down for their relationship and their friendship and been like, why are you trying to hurt me? Like, I just want to be here for you in your life. So she has gone to lengths to please Emma. And I think this is another thing she's doing to please Emma.
Yeah.
And to preserve the friendliness and the closeness of their relationship.
And then you throw in it's the early 2000s and
Manny has been struggling with her own body image the entire season. And predominantly that has been the arc.
Was introduced.
That's right. Like that's she's been trying to shake her cutesy image. She's been trying to like be seen as like desirable to boys and everything. She has had a whole journey that's kind of led up to here of like trying to control her body image. And like she needs to fit into these low-rise jeans and her hip bones and the fact that she's a cheerleader and she's walking around in like sports bras all the time and her showing her midriff. Like she has an image to maintain. Like, and that's not even Emma's image. Emma doesn't have any of that, but she's still.
Well, I mean, I think that's why like, or it's because like what it comes down to is like eating disorders, like yes, weight and body image and all of that is tied into it, but a lot of the time like what it really comes down to when you're talking like full-blown eating disorder is it's about control.
Yeah, absolutely. It is definitely about control. That's what she feels like. She like, it's time to take a stand. I'm taking control or whatever. Like whatever she says before the credits roll, like, you know.
Like Emma has probably felt fat plenty of times over the last 5 seasons.
Right, but it's all kind like
because the 2000s were a horrible time to be a girl.
They were. She was talking about it in the season opener, just like Manny was, and like, you know, her asking about the dents in the chair dents in her thighs, and of course she's talked about it before, and she's had her own transformation of like going from gawky and everything to the leggy blonde, and like she's had her own transformation and everything, but
she didn't develop an eating disorder until her life was spiraling, and
she did not develop an eating disorder, much like Ellie, who did not develop a cutting issue until her life was literally fucking out of her hands and out of her control. Her mom fucking
lit the house on fire.
Her mom's the worst. She's just passing out with plastic bottles of vodka and shit. Like Ellie was like, oh, fuck no. So I mean, it just, different people are gonna process things differently, and especially because Snake was the one who cooked the meals for her family that were not only like delicious, but they were also healthy. Anything that you're eating home cooked is going to be healthier than what you can find out in the world.
Yeah.
Like Snake was always holding that shit down. He came in and taught Spike that there is cooking possible to have, you know, you can cook. It's okay.
What did Emma eat before Snake moved in? Like just
that's what I want to know. Bags of fucking chips and ice cream,
which also is probably another like. There is so much to unpack that must be happening within her right now that it makes me really upset that this is only 2 episodes, and I know that upsets a lot of people because this should be much longer than that. Or should at least be talked about more.
Like a good length, though.
I feel like there's about a month between the first episode and the second episode.
I do wish that the arc of Emma overcoming her eating disorder like maintained more plot relevance in the future, because these things are so,
especially when she went to college. That would have been interesting. And they hint at a lot of struggles she has in college about not belonging and not standing out and everything. But like, I think it would have been much more interesting to kind of bring back the fact that she has no control over living with her friends and no control over like how people perceive her. Like, it would have been a lot more of like, that is what Emma would cling to. Yeah, that would have been It would have been nice. I think that I like that they even bring it back at all to give us, that little bit of, oh, okay, Emma, you good after that purple dragon, bitch.
After
But
the
like,
purple dragon. Oh my god.
it's very much like the seeds are there. Like we
Mhm.
get like it's enough for it to be believable. Like,
Yeah.
and just to think about like what Emma ate before Snake came into their lives, she probably
Mhm.
like had to either if she developed. I mean, that's probably why she was such a hardcore vegetarian.
Yeah.
Because she could make those things easily for herself.
Mhm.
And that felt like a way to eat healthy in a way that she could control,
Yeah.
because
Right,
Spike is not a vegetarian that we know of.
Which also
Right.
probably meant that a lot of the food she was eating was like a reminder of that time where
Mhm.
she was having to probably do a lot of taking care of herself and like,
Yes.
meeting her own basic needs in the way of food. Um, yeah,
That's hard for a kid to have to
it's really
do.
hard for a kid, and, like, this is
I
probably
can't
dredging
imagine
all
that
that
shit.
back up to the surface too. Not to mention
Yeah.
the fact that she, like, had the whole being held at gunpoint situation,
Mhm.
and the
With
Yeah.
almost
one
getting
person.
murdered in a hotel room situation, and
Right, she's had a lot of
like
traumatic things happen to
yeah,
her.
and she, as far as I know, has not been, like,
She is
in
not
therapy for it, you
right. She
know?
is not literally like the fact that she has not had a spiral of the mental variety
Yeah.
before now is kind of like
The way that Spike is just
impressive.
so inclined to believe Emma. If Emma says she's good, she's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like
And it feels like their old relationship where it's just like she depends on her to be a certain level of stable so that she can do what she needs to do to support them.
mhm,
Like
Mhm.
she is depending, doesn't she say something like that, like I'm counting on you girls or
yeah,
whatever?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's like she puts that pressure for Emma to not have issues, to not be a basic teenager who gets to like overreact and go a little bit nuts in
mhm,
terms of her behavior, and maybe it's nonsensical and everything. Like she doesn't really get to do that when
mhm,
Snake's not in the household taking up that partner responsibility.
mhm,
Mm.
Because without Snake there, Spike still needs a partner.
mhm,
Spike still needs somebody to run the household, which is essentially what Snake did.
mhm, yeah,
Yeah.
Like, and it sucks that Emma is like that. I don't think that Spike is taking proper time to account for where all of that is going. Like,
mhm,
she is being super, and I get why. Obviously, she is justified in her relationship to have these feelings, but she did not fully consider what it would do once you introduce someone as your child's parent,
mhm,
Right.
and then you take that away. That is disrupting their sense of normalcy, their sense of safety, everything. Like Emma worked very
mhm,
hard to embrace their family, and I don't think that like Spike is not really thinking about where the fuck this shit is going.
yeah,
Who is taking up all of this?
yeah,
Cuz it's not you.
yep,
You're keeping a roof over their head. That's all you're really doing because you're not
You're barely
emotionally
keeping it
engaging.
yeah,
together.
You're barely keeping it together. The
mhm,
trash is piling up. These girls are like eating fried chicken every night,
yeah,
Spike.
and, like,
Right?
they have
Emma's just eating
no
French fries.
say in the matter.
Emma's just
Emma can only eat the french fries, like, oh my
Emma's
god.
like, you are neglecting me. I need food.
I mean,
It's not
she's
French
probably getting like a
fries.
lot of falafel.
Yeah,
That's
I ate a lot
like
of
she's
falafel when I was
gassy as
vegan.
shit all the time.
Yeah, I know she's farting, and those
She's
easy
farting
farts are
up.
rank, dude.
Them jaws be like
They are
light, and
just
like there are efficient
awful.
poops. There are efficient poops, but boy,
Yeah.
you busting
Yep.
down, and that fart, that's flavored. So I'm just saying, like I love a good falafel situation. I'll usually choose if I go to Kava, I'm choosing the falafel over their other options because I fuck with falafel. But I'm gonna like my partner knows I light this shit up when I eat falafel. So I hope that she was not just like, that's why she's so bloated.
Yes.
Is she's eating falafel.
She's eating falafel every single day.
She's like, I can't, Mom. I can't.
I can't do this anymore.
We only have one bathroom.
Oh my god.
It's on the second floor.
Jesus.
And I live in the basement.
He's like, you do the math. Like, I have sharded myself like 3 times this week. Just trying to
find shorts.
I do the laundry. You don't do the laundry, Mom. You don't do the laundry. Like, that pie chart is insane.
The pie chart is insane, and also my question about it is, why is exercise a shared responsibility on the pie chart? Is Emma exercising for both of them?
No, she's just in charge of, like, planning and enforcing the exercise.
That's probably it. I thought that was really funny.
I think the allocations were wrong. Like, she did not have, like, the fact that Manny was only on, was it homework?
She's on
Manny
homework.
was only on laundry.
Or laundry. Manny has one thing, and
Manny's
Emma's
not
like,
even entrusted to help with homework. Manny's on laundry.
I'm surprised she trusts her to do the laundry.
She's such a fucking control freak.
Yeah, no shit. She's in the throes of an eating disorder.
I
dude.
know. I'm like, why did you guys never let Emma say this before now?
Oh my god. Also, the fact that Emma full body drops, faints in the hallway onto the collapses, drops like a fucking fly.
And apparently nobody tells Snake.
Miss H was like, I was like, oh my god. She went down, y'all. She went down. Nobody.
Are you sure you're okay?
She's like, leave me alone.
And Emma's like, you kissed my dad. First of all, why the fuck would I tell you that I haven't been eating?
Fucking slut.
We are at a high school and I just collapsed. Is that not a situation in which you would call the ambulance?
Right, why are you just letting me walk away?
At my school, you're going in an ambulance.
Unless you're like the kid
you don't
with
have a
fainting disorder. And, like, we all know about it, and it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my husband has epilepsy. Please don't just call an ambulance.
Yeah.
We probably don't need it. But if you're not the kid who faints every day.
And you collapse suddenly without any warning. Like...
But also, Alyka should have found an adult who hadn't made out with Emma's dad. She should have been like, yo, Armstrong.
Armstrong, do you want to step in here? You have a rapport with Emma. She just ran out of... Is this after she faints? Or does she go and do the gym thing after? Or before? I think it's before.
I think gym class was before she fainted.
Do you think it's funny to put at the tip of lard?
Lard? Okay. Like, first of all, why
the way that they're teasing her is, this is the culture.
Because Emily.
This is the culture we're talking
about.
What years
were you in high school?
True. I was in high school from 2014 to 2018.
Okay.
And it was...
if you did this, you would be severely punished.
Honey, the odds.
So, like,
the things that people got away with saying
in high school.
Yeah, the things that people got away with doing were unhinged.
Yeah.
And in particular, when it came to the bodies of women and young girls.
Yeah.
Like, do you know about Jessica Simpson's fat era?
Oh, yes.
When she was a size 4.
When she was literally
a size 4.
Like,
beautiful.
It's just so insane. And, like, it's so weird because my high school experience was incredibly different. Still extremely, like, putting your body under a microscope. But it was when Kylie Jenner got a BBL. and like all the Kardashians had butts now. And all of a sudden it was like the body that we were supposed to have as 14-year-old girls was not one that biologically was even possible for a human to achieve. Like, we wanted specific body parts as opposed to like being super skinny. We had so much fixation on like thigh gaps and like what type of nose you had, what type of chin you had, what type of body shape you had, as opposed to like what your weight was. It was very much like have how you are is or is not wrong no matter what you do unless you get it surgically altered. Like,
that was something that I mean, I think that there was some emphasis on like Botox and stuff, but I don't know that I was ever influenced to get like surgery.
Yeah, no, it was
that was something that skipped me. I was always more of like like for me, a lot of people that I liked were like petite and small, and I'm short, so I always wanted like that sort of figure where I just don't have. I never wanted a big ass. I am black. I've never wanted like a big ass. Just a nice one would be, plump. What I've got is good.
Avis has a great butt.
Wow.
Thanks.
I'm really happy to hear this.
Caroline has done a lot for my butt confidence. Get you one. Get you one. Thanks, she's mine. But I really do feel like what the things I've focused on are majorly about my weight. Like, I don't have a desire to really change anything about myself as far as like cosmetic surgery. I actually would be really creeped out if I had to change anything about myself, like even something like, if I had to get a veneer, my teeth, like I like my teeth. And I think it really changes the way people look when you do elective surgery to like do certain things like that. Like, I feel like that is because there's a whole trend of people getting, when you get on and you get rich, you fix your teeth. That's always been a trend. I have never.
So distracting.
Because they look like AI teeth.
It's so
if not done properly.
fake.
I mean, they look like fucking AI teeth. That's like my 5 head has been a big thing in my life. Like Tyra Banks has a big forehead and coined that term, the 5 head. So people used to call me 5 head. And I had to overcome that. So that was a trying time in my life. Like, I've had my beauty struggles, okay? But I feel like I've never wanted to like change physically the way I look because I would be far too creeped out by that. To actually
now I would. It's so crazy how, but like I really empathize with where Emma and Manny are in this episode because like I feel so differently now about my appearance and my body. But at that time in my life, it seemed like the biggest problem. Like, it was why people didn't like me. It was why I had a hard time making friends. It was every problem I had in my life, I attributed in some way to an aspect of my appearance, to where it was like, I wanted everything about me to be different. Like, it's crazy how, and like I also know that like Emma at this point is starting to enter into the age of the internet that is incredibly cesspool of pro Anna content. And
she sounds like a pro Anna.
I mean, I hear her reciting. I put in my notes like these are so many like pro
Anna slogans.
Like
I almost made the sponsored by one of the sponsored bys live journal, but then I was like,
you were like, that's niche? A little bit of a deep cut.
But like hungry is a feeling, thin is a skill.
Thin is a skill. the way that I had a foray into these like pro Anna sites, because there are a number of these books. One of them is Winter Girls by Lori Halse Anderson. There's another handful that are not coming to me because I didn't write it down, but that were like depicting eating disorders in young girls. There's also a lot of movies, a lot of Lifetime movies that I was obsessed with in high
many Lifetime
school.
movies.
And they very much are super steeped in this sort of rhetoric of like, you know, it's discipline and all of that. And like going online and like actually being on forums myself, I really, because obviously I had struggles with my weight growing up, but I never wanted to like, I was like, okay, I'm not disciplined enough. I don't have whatever it takes to like make myself throw up, whatever it takes. I don't, you know, like the way that people used to say, I tried being bulimic and I just couldn't hack it, or I tried being anorexic and I just couldn't hack it. That used to be something you could say and not be like, oh, I'm concerned for you, or someone looked at you like you should go see someone about that.
Trying to do those things, then like you need help for those things.
Well, I mean, you need help. You don't need help for those things, I don't necessarily think, because I think trying to be anorexic or bulimic versus like people who successfully become anorexic and bulimic, like it's because it's a different thing. It's because what it takes for, that feels like such a gross term, but like if you have what it takes to be bulimic, then you're gonna succeed in it.
You have a mental disorder.
Like if you're trying to be bulimic, it's because you have body image issues, and there was a degree to which the media oftentimes kind of glorified
romanticizes even like, you know, we all know the scene of in Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1 when Bella is looking in the mirror and she is a skeletal mess. Of course there's like some like folk music playing over top of it, and it sounds and it's like these melancholy vibes, but it's like she's dying for her fucking ratatouille baby. I have very little desire to see. It's if you're a ratty, if you know, you know, if you know, you know, ratties. I feel like it's just, I don't like seeing super thinness glorified, but it is always glorified, no matter if it's not directly about like being super thin, if it's some sort of illness, if there's some sort of whatever going on, like it's still to a degree seen as like martyrdom and like beautiful and like hauntingly like
the illness itself is glamorized so much and made into
Tumblr
like an aesthetic
Tumblr was
thing.
terrible with that.
Tumblr and Live
Thigh Gap
the
Central
Thigh Gap thing was
the
crazy.
pro Anna content on Tumblr
like,
is disgusting. Was disgusting. I think a lot of it's been scrubbed, but you know.
They're a lot better about it now, but now that it's kind of dead, it's also kind of the Wild West. So like wherever there's fewer of the general public, I feel like that's where those groups will kind of go to discuss everything. And I mean, I think that you're absolutely right, Caroline. I think that if you are in the mindset where you are like fully engaging in that kind of like, I don't want to say behavior because I feel like that makes it sound like it's like wrong, like morally or whatever.
But no.
If you have gone so far as to regularly actually engage in that, as opposed to just like thinking about it, I do think though that like if you are in a headspace where like you are regularly so like discontent with how you look as a person and exist in your skin, that you are like regularly confronted by thoughts about like wanting to do that, and it's becoming like distressing to you, You know, like, I do feel like that's
no, I
yeah,
certainly you still, like, it's the same as, like, when cutting became a thing.
yeah,
Not that
yeah,
self-harm, like, wasn't a thing before the aughts, but you know what I mean?
It
Like,
yeah.
when it
became,
became something that we were aware of, so many
Mhm.
people will talk about self-harm and be
romanticized it.
like, "Well, that too." But so many people will you stop for me? I'm sorry. So many people will be like, I remember adults hearing about cutting and being like, "Well, that's just a cry for attention." And like, yes, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, duh.
give this person attention.
Like,
Yeah.
duh. I don't. Oh my gosh.
Well,
Yeah,
And not to
people.
simplify it, because self-harm is about more than just wanting attention.
but that's such
Like,
a
and I would say that it is primarily not about wanting attention. In fact, it's, you know what I mean? But
It's
it's what
no,
comes
but
with that attention, though.
that,
Like,
like,
it's
yeah, if
yeah, I don't know. Like, it's also that support and emotional stability that would come with somebody noticing that you're in pain and reaching out to
Mhm.
you about it, you know?
right.
Like, it's not just attention because you don't want people to pay attention to other things and you want to be the center of the universe. It's like, I
Well,
have a problem that needs to have attention drawn to it, you
and I
know?
guess when I say, like, it's a cry for attention, like, I don't mean in the, like Kelly Kapoor, "Pay attention to
Mhm.
me" kind of way.
Yeah.
I mean in the, like, I am hurting and I don't know
Yeah.
how to ask for help.
Yes.
Like,
Exactly.
yeah, I think a lot of the connotation of words is kind of where I'm getting tripped up in things and wanting to, like, say the right things, but just
Mhm.
because normally we say cry for attention this way doesn't mean that there isn't
Oh,
validity to,
yeah.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
give me attention, but
Well,
it's
like
not that
yeah.
I'm cutting myself because nobody's paying, I need to be the center of attention.
Yeah.
I'm cutting
But I
myself because I'm hurting and I need
yeah.
somebody to pay attention to
And I
that.
mean, like, for people like Emma, she pretty explicitly has shown displeasure at her current situation to the people around
Mhm.
her. Like,
Yeah.
she
She's
is
been pissed since they
clearly
moved her into the basement.
like, she's been
Mm.
moved into the basement. Like, I mean, we talked about that the last episode I was on, where she's been, like, forgotten about, basically, which is part of what motivated her to get with Peter in the first place.
I was gonna say, you wanna know how to radicalize somebody? You put them in the fucking basement,
Put them
and
in
then
the
they
basement.
sympathize with an
Nobody puts
actual
Emma in the basement.
then she sympathizes with an actual fucking teenage terrorist,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
like, that's how you radicalize someone. Good job, Spike
Put
and
them in the
Snake.
basement. Put
Good
them in the
job.
basement. Like, and she has everything down there, including, like, her own bathroom, so she doesn't even
She
have to
doesn't need
go
it's a whole
upstairs to
world,
do it.
yeah.
Like, her whole world is down there. She can even sneak in and out to go to the ravine in the middle of the
Yeah.
night if she wants. Like,
Who's gonna stop
Oh,
her?
they
Not her
no one's
parents.
said
gonna
They're not
stop
paying
her.
attention.
in a way, it's like, I think they continually treat Emma like such an adult,
Mhm.
and that they forget that she's a teenage girl,
Yeah.
and that you're giving her a lot of latitude, and that the latitude you're giving her, and then you displace you're already kind of putting her in her own world,
Mhm.
and then her friend is there, so it's kind of creating,
Mhm.
like, the dynamics of a never-ending sleepover.
Mhm.
Mhm.
She never has her own space. As much as
Yeah.
she loves Manny, she never really gets a privacy or her own
Yeah.
space, her own area, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, and then her whole fucking home is turned up on its head, and now she's not getting the stability of having her partner there, or
Mhm.
her mom's partner there, and she's not getting the home cooked meals, the fatherly advice, the fatherly oversight, and
Mhm.
just
The
all
someone
of that
else to be
Snake
the emotional
provides.
support for her
Yeah.
mom.
That someone
Yeah.
else is the emotional support for her mom, because now she's doing all that again.
Mhm.
Mhm.
The other
And
thing
maybe she was able to. Sorry,
oh, no, continue. I'll say my thought after you're done. Didn't wanna
my bad.
interrupt you.
I was just maybe she was able to do that shit when she was 12, but
Yeah.
she's got other shit going on now.
Yeah.
She
No,
can't
for
do it
sure.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was also just thinking about, like, how Spike has been interacting with Emma in this situation. And the fact that Spike doesn't necessarily even have a gauge of like what a normal girl Emma's age should be doing with their time in the first place.
Right,
Because
because
when
she
she was
didn't get
Emma's
to
age,
be
she was taking
one.
care of a baby. And so, like, of course, she's probably not going to think twice about putting a lot of extra responsibilities on Emma because she had, like, you know, a whole other human being to take care of at that point in her life. Like, she
Yeah.
wasn't even thinking about half the things Emma was struggling with. And she'd
Right.
never been held at gunpoint before.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel really bad for Emma. I think that she's taking up a lot of the brunt of just the emotional labor. I mean, obviously in the second episode, we get more of the introduction of Peter
Mhm.
and like the role that he is starting to play in her life.
Is Emma is still a vegetarian because she was a vegetarian on her date with Derek like 2 episodes ago. It's
Right.
been
The
longer
fried
than that. But
chicken, comfort
why did he
food.
bring
Yeah.
her fried chicken? Does he not know that
I
she's
don't think
vegetarian?
maybe no.
I think he knows, and I think he just is not good at things that involve packing snack boxes.
I don't think he really cares that much specifically about Emma's
Yeah.
personality.
Like
Specific things that
interests.
pertain to Emma.
Specific things that pertain to Emma.
I mean, he says all the comfort foods, but if he knew her, he would know that her comfort foods are moussaka, tempeh with peanut sauce, and alfalfa sprouts.
Yes.
Sandwich form.
Exactly. And those protein bars from the health food store.
Clearly those protein bars from the health food store.
They're totally safe.
They're totally safe.
She does not give a fuck about potato salad and fried
Definitely
chicken.
not fried chicken.
Definitely not fried chicken.
I mean, to be fair, it does look like he might have cooked that food because it doesn't look like he got it. Like it looks like they're in containers from home.
Yeah.
Unless he was that calculated to buy food from hopefully a soul food joint.
I was gonna say, do you really think that Peter, like, vegetarian or not, I'm not eating any fried chicken that Peter Stone
Not
made.
eating anything Peter gives me.
Sorry, I just yeeted my fucking headphones out of my ears.
Not eating anything Peter gives you is also valid, but I don't trust that kid to know how to make good fried chicken.
I'm getting salmonella
if he didn't microwave it, I think it looked okay. You just got to pull it apart, make sure it's cooked
and seasoned.
Yeah, I feel like Manny has a good reason to hold this grudge against Peter, Emma, and you should probably try to stop making it like she doesn't like to Peter like she doesn't have a legitimate reason and calling her the 2-time winner of the Golden Grudge.
Golden Grudge? Like, girl.
Like,
what?
why? Yeah, like, what? She has a very good reason to not fucking like this guy.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
in fact, like,
he should be in jail.
Manny has been worried about her when he's around her because she knows that he has been dangerous. Like,
Manny's out here worried about you. And so upset that you're trying to get her to eat and shit, holding up a sandwich which I can only maybe a seitan, like deep fried seitan or something, because it's like a block of what looks like wedge cheese, but it's not, because Emma is a vegetarian, so it is probably something.
Well, she's vegetarian, she's not vegan.
But would she literally give her an egg patty on a sandwich with tomato and lettuce? Ew.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
That's kind of nasty. I don't approve of that.
I mean,
so I'm gonna choose to believe that it's seitan or something of the like,
because that's better than egg with tomato and lettuce.
Well, yeah, it's like a veggie burger.
Yeah, I guess so. It's definitely something you could probably get at a millennial restaurant around here somewhere.
Especially if the bread is untoasted in
Yes.
an egg situation. There is no texture. I'm gonna want something that's gonna stand up in an untoasted bread situation. To that lettuce and tomato, you're gonna have that wet egg on top of that's just gonna you're just gonna have a mush in your hands.
Yeah, okay. All right. I didn't pay enough attention to the sandwich.
Take it from me. The texture when you don't eat meat is so crucial because you really do miss the firmness of meat.
I feel that. I was vegan for several years. And
oh, so you really did that to yourself. I told myself no.
Yeah. I'm not anymore. Now I eat everything except I cannot have dairy or I will give myself an involuntary colon cleanse.
Oh shit. Not an involuntary, you just evacuate your entire colon sac.
But
I desperately hope that doesn't happen to me because my mom can't do gluten.
Oh,
she has great gastrointestinal distress, and she doesn't do dairy.
Yeah.
So she also gets like, I'm not gonna air my bad.
We've talked about gastrointestinal
This is the third
Yeah, I know.
time that we've discussed this.
We're super comfortable with you, listeners. No topic is off limits. Apparently.
Is off limits.
But like, I so hope that shit doesn't happen to me because like the way that I enjoy some cheese.
I used to work with this guy who once every like 2 months he would take like 3-4 days off in a row.
Yeah.
And just like spend them eating a fuck ton of dairy and paying for it.
Oh my god.
Just like I'm just gonna take these consequences.
The way that would be me.
Done that.
Yeah, I call that the great ass reckoning.
Yeah, I definitely got a little tub of ice cream this past week, and
you were like, I'm just gonna deal with it.
Oat Dream.
You know,
that's why S doesn't eat ice cream anymore because she cannot. I guess it's the concentration of the milk and the cream and everything that's in ice cream. It fucks her up.
Seriously,
and she's like refuse it. Ben and Jerry's has a really good like non-dairy one, and she's like, it's not the same. She's like, I don't want to do no.
Yeah, I have soy too. So the soy ice cream is like the closest thing that there is to regular dairy, in my opinion. And
really,
it also makes me sick. So
fuck,
it sucks.
That's just rude.
It is just.
They said
so
no
rude.
ice cream for you. You can only have other frozen treats.
Also, I know the viewers can't see my cat, but he's drooling because he's in here.
He is he's like, I am just reaping
he might
all
be the
the
handsomest
benefits.
guest we've ever had.
He's vibing over there.
Don't tell Shane Kipple.
Yeah, Shane is gonna be like, he's gonna do what little math there is to do about how many male guests we've had.
Oh my gosh.
And quickly get offended. And now you got cat butt on your shoulder in your face.
There's a cat butt on my shoulder.
Cat butt in your shoulder in your face. And it's taking his time too.
He really wants to show it off.
He's like, look at my booty hole.
Some cats
butthole confidence.
Are butthole cats.
Yeah.
They really are just like, would you like to subscribe to my OnlyFans? It is free.
Apollo is really shy about showing you his butt. He like tucks his tail between his legs if he kisses you. Hades is really
One
proud.
of my lady cats did that. She was like, I'm a lady.
Yeah.
And she would lay down. She would put her tail in between her legs, like on her back. She'd be like, no. You must see my little pound.
See it.
Biggie is like, if you pet her below her shoulders, she immediately is like, would you like my asshole? And you're like, no.
Like,
no,
you coming for this? You coming for this?
I'm not.
It's like, well, you got it now.
Oh my God. I'm looking at my notes,
Yes,
and
that's
I
those.
also was going to say that at least once an episode, there is a teacher that loudly announces something personal about a student's grades to the entire class.
That is like a violation of something.
It's usually
They
Miss
can't.
Kwan.
Violation. Like Emma's sitting in
Yeah.
her health class with Manny falling asleep, and Manny pokes her to wake her up and is like, "Oh my God, you feel like death. Like your hands are freezing cold." And then the teacher yells at them and is like, "You better be whispering about the female reproductive system because, like,
Your
if you're not talking
feelings.
about
Yes,
glands, you're
go
going to be at
fam.
summer school if you don't
Yeah.
ace this test."
And Manny is astounded because Emma Nelson failing something is just
Yeah.
not on her bingo card.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I don't like that. I think that they definitely do that way too much, and I'm like, that's a violation. You're not
It
allowed
is
to
a
do that.
violation. And it's
Not allowed
DeGrasse
to
also
do
just
that.
teachers
like
do not care.
they
They
do
don't
not
give a
care
fuck. They're like, I'll
about
take the fine. I don't give a fuck. Um the fact that Manny is like, hey, you need to keep track of whether or not she's eating because I'm done. Manny is a real one. She is a real friend because Emma would never do that. There is no way in hell that if they had a similar, if the shoe was on the exact other foot and they had a falling out, that Emma would tell Manny's boyfriend that she is having eating issues and to
Nope.
keep an eye on it. There's
Emma
no
would
way
be
in
like, I hope
fucking
her
hell.
hair falls out soon.
also like having to say that to Peter. Like,
Yeah, exactly. She is a true friend because not only did she compromise how she feels to talk to him in a way that's not telling him to go fuck himself, but she also is showing concern despite the fact that they are not on good terms,
Yeah. No,
which is
Manny's
something that Emma is incapable of doing
yeah,
with all the evidence we have.
yeah,
Like, that argument will always be like, how does this person treat you when you are not on good terms?
yeah.
That is how you know how good of a person they are in the context of your friendship.
Yep.
And like, Manny will always treat Emma good when Emma's not looking.
Mm-hmm.
When they're
And
not even in a good fucking way.
yep. And like Emma is all Manny has, really.
Mm-hmm.
In a lot of ways right now. Like, she is completely without her parental support system. Like, she doesn't have anywhere to go.
Yeah.
And she's being treated horribly. Like, this is like the only standard she has for a friendship aside from Liberty.
Which is barely a friendship.
Which is barely a friendship.
Well,
Yeah.
it's shitty, right? Because there's like, there's this massive betrayal that Manny finds out about, but she doesn't get time and space to have feelings about it because Emma is in this crisis.
Right.
And like, she's never going to get to like sit down with Emma and be like, yo, this was fucked up.
Yeah. I'll be in therapy for this for years.
I just feel bad. I feel so bad that Manny has to be the bigger person all the time. Like, I know that I have empathy for Emma in this episode too because she is going through a lot. But Manny is also going through a lot.
She's going through so much.
She is literally still displaced from her fucking home.
Like, she literally does not have a bed to call her own. Like,
she is renting your parents.
Yeah.
Like, by the seat of her pants because she can't always afford that rent, but she still comes up with it. Like, she is doing the best that she can and still managing to like be empathetic to Emma, like lead into her crusade of like controlling their eating and all of this. And I just feel like there is little to no payoff for Manny.
I mean,
after all that, she has no expectation of being brought on their family vacation to New York. Also,
yeah.
like,
No, I
she
mean, but
literally
that's
doesn't
being a person
expect
of good
anything.
character. Is like, you're gonna suck it up and be the bigger person, not because of any because that's who you are, you know.
Yeah. And
I hope Manny
that she gets what she truly deserves, which
I
is
hope she
nothing but
has
love.
such great friends in her
I hope she
adulthood.
does. I really hope she does.
She deserves it. She deserves to get the friend that she is.
I know that Emma can't necessarily be blamed, but I do feel like this situation in some way ties into why Manny ended up dating that shitty TA.
Yeah, I mean, there is a self-worth thing going on here.
This has majorly impacted her potential view of what love looks like. And
yeah. And what she's worth. People, her best friend didn't care enough to stand by her in the face of something that she considers a major violation. That is a major violation.
Yeah.
It's just saying okay, I'm okay with what he did. Because that's gotta be what you're saying.
She just experienced the ultimate betrayal, puts her feelings aside in order to still be there for her, and then continues to make herself be okay with it until they break up.
Right.
Willingly puts herself in uncomfortable situations with them repeatedly just for the sake of Emma.
Yeah. Oh, Emma. And I see
Emma.
This is something that I noticed, and I might be wrong for this. I'm fine with being wrong for it. But when Snake yells at Peter to call 911 when Emma's having her spiral and yelling at everybody, he runs up the stairs. But isn't he supposed to have a fucking satellite phone with email and internet and all of this shit? And where is this fabulous phone? I don't see it anywhere.
It's the early 2000s, so phones didn't get receptions in basements.
Yes.
And also, I think to an extent they weren't permanently glued to your hand and shit.
Yeah, you
would
leave
leave it home and let it charge, and I many times did that. Which might defeat the purpose of it. If it wasn't always with you. But the expectation that we have now that the shit is always with you is relatively new.
Yeah.
This is really inconsequential, but I just have to point out that when Emma says that dolphins aren't in the rainforest, that is fucking Amazon River dolphin erasure. And I'm not here for it.
Emma, check your fucking facts.
Check your dolphin facts.
Signed the Amazonian Dolphins.
My God.
You don't deserve
Association
those fucking dolphin pants.
Of America. Yeah. They want their dolphin pants back. Yeah. They want their dolphin pants back. So I did notice in the hospital room, Emma uses a baby voice to Spike. She's pulling out all the stops to be manipulative throughout the episode, but I think not my favorite. That's a little morbid. But the one I kind of was oh, I didn't expect that was her being but it was just a panic attack. And all of the, for lack of a better term, bass is out of her voice. And then not even that long after, Manny's you need to beat this. She's I'm gonna try, okay? She just completely Miriam is so good in this whole two-parter. She's fucking phenomenal.
She's so great.
Oh, she's so good. The range that she has to play in this two-parter as well is quite large. She does a great job.
It's weird to me, honestly, that Miriam didn't blow up more.
Yeah. Yeah.
With her talent.
She's really, really, really talented.
She
has been since.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I wondered about the fates of the Degrassi cast post Degrassi, because I just randomly will see them in other things, but I tried to find her, and this is all she's done.
Yeah, she did
She's done a handful of things.
She's done a handful of things. We've watched at
She's
least
Too
2 of them for
Young
Film Club.
and Devil's
Sea Beast.
Diary.
And Devil's Diary. Okay, 3 at least.
Yeah, and Sea Beast. Yeah, these movies were right around the time of, you know, the height of Degrassi, or like right after Degrassi. So
I feel like Sea Beast was a little later, but
it was like 2009, I think. And her arc was over, I think, in like 2007 or 8.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like Sea Beast wasn't in the
oh, it
mid
was
2010s.
2008.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I
Damn.
thought like that CGI wasn't clear in the 2010s. Wasn't gonna do that. But yeah, Miriam definitely has a lot of talent, and I don't know if it's what the casting. I don't cast people, but she has the ability to play a lot of different characters, and I think that we see a couple different versions of Emma in this episode. But above all, she is very calculating in this episode, and the vulnerability that she shows when she is having that like ultimate showdown with everybody and the confrontation, and like just the hair in front of her face, and like how she's basically like lost control of the things she's saying, and just goes into full on like she just loses control to a point that she can't accept with her anxiety. It's very brilliantly acted, and it still makes me sad. It's one of the reasons that I feel like Emma's character is a great character, but not necessarily a likable character.
No, but I've said it before. I think she's one of the most compelling Degrassi characters.
She is a brilliant character, and this really humanizes her in a lot of ways as well.
She's
like,
still a bitch for what she did to Manny, though.
She's a bitch in this episode, but you can't not feel for her.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
It's really
She's going
devastating
off.
to see
She's
someone
reading
go
everybody
through
for
something
filth.
like that. Yeah. Well, yeah, and then she reads everybody for filth.
She's like, you guys I'm taking the heat off of me. Like, you guys
Literally.
need to stop talking about my shit. When
You
this
take
is
it for
this is
yourself.
all of the hotnesses that are accumulated.
Last I told you, we're making out with his mother.
Right.
Like, get your shit straight before you call me out for mine.
Right, like, we could do this shit all day. Like, you guys need to stop coming for me. It's very much like she is deflecting at the highest possible, like, deflecting master.
She is throwing everything
level
at the wall.
Everything that she can to just not be discovered and not be, like, pulled out of this. And, like, it's so sad. And it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Such a big fan of this A-plot. In a critical sense, I don't know if I appreciated it watching it, because I think you get so caught up in, especially when you're binge watching, being like, oh, okay, this is the Emma episode, I'm just gonna watch it and get it over with, and then you can continue about your way. But like, when you really have to sit with this episode and look at it for the, like, just the whole piece that it is, it is a very moving, humanizing, like you said, Emily, portrait of Emma.
Yeah, it really is. And one of my favorite takeaways from this episode is one that we don't actually see until a few episodes later, but it's after she gets out of treatment and she's picked up knitting to cope with everything that she's gone through. And that's the first time since she met Shane that I feel like there's a nod to her connection with her biological father as well, because he did the same thing. And I really appreciate that, and I really, like, it breaks my heart to think that, like, Shane McKay might, be kind of forgotten about along the way sometimes, even though he is Emma's biological father. I really like that way of kind of tying him back in to her story.
They sure do fucking forget that Shane exists.
Yeah.
him and his knitting ass.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, I absolutely love that. That's definitely something that is a good nod to
No, I
Shane.
think there's a lot of care put into Emma that I think we don't get in other characters. I think largely because of the connection to the original series. You know, I think I wonder to a degree if that's not some of why, because I think, like, hands down, the most well-developed characters are Emma and Craig.
Yeah.
And, you know, Craig wasn't born at prom,
Mhm.
but he's Joey's kid, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're the first big ties to the continuity of the series that, like, I don't know, they're some of the most important arcs
Yeah.
for the entire ensemble.
Absolutely. I don't think I mentioned at all that Manny's like relationship to food is like low key my relationship to food throughout this episode. It's like the pizza's calling me, Manny.
Cream and butter and
Manny.
everything else I see in my dreams.
Yeah, ricotta. And then she's like, no, there's a butter tart and a calf with my name on it.
Yeah.
She's like,
I
I
would like a
lost
butter
3
tart.
pounds. Let's go, bitch. Let's go get that butter tart, bitch. Like, that is how I feel about any sort of diet. Is like, it should be reward based, but it should obviously, like, that is how you sustain something. Like, by like not depriving yourself for any, like, I think any diet for me is like, that's naturally gonna fail. Like, you should have a lifestyle to your eating so that you can, like, it's not so high risk and high stakes, because that is just, for me, it sets myself up to punish myself, and I already punish myself just fine. Thank you. I don't need to do it in relation to my eating in that way.
Well,
So,
like, if what you're craving is potato chips, no amount of rice cakes is going to be
yeah,
as satisfying as just one potato chip.
just eat the potato chip. Just eat the cookie.
You're not gonna die.
No one's gonna die.
It's gonna be okay.
And I think that you'll find that you'll enjoy life more if you let yourself have the cookie versus not.
Yep.
Yeah.
My life became so much more joyful when I started letting myself enjoy food. And I started finding enjoyment in food. Like, there was so much guilt surrounding it every time I ate for my whole life. It was ingrained in every aspect of culture. And even if it wasn't body image based, it was like, it was almost like a moral thing that you were like just seen as so much more disciplined and like together and responsible if you could resist eating a full meal in one sitting. Like,
right, the willpower of it.
Or like,
yeah.
I remember like my friends and I, we would like talk, we would brag about like how, when the last time we'd eaten was, like how little we'd eaten that day. And like,
yeah, absolutely.
It was
so low
not
key a
in
competition.
like a raging ED conversation. It was like casually, like,
oh yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
like,
same, very casually, like, oh, I haven't even eaten today. I completely forgot to eat. I just got so busy, and like, not that I can't still say that. That is ADHD, my dudes. But it's not something to brag about, and I actually feel bad sometimes because I have to put myself in the mindset now that my body does a lot for me. And my body deserves to eat. And sometimes, especially with my weed brain, I'm like, okay, I can smoke and then my appetite will go away, or my desire to eat will go away for an hour. But then my stomach's like, raw, bitch, eat something. And I don't like to let myself get to where I'm starving, because then I overeat. Like, if I just
when I
eat
get to a point
before
where,
I'm
like,
hungry, oh shit, I knocked the fuck out of my computer.
I get to a point where like I'm like, I am so hungry that I can't eat.
Sometimes I get that way, like I have to force myself to eat, especially when like the nausea from not eating has kicked in, like the food aversion. Like I'm so hungry that now I've got a food aversion, but then I find myself having to physically push food into my mouth, and somehow it starts to feel like happy. You know,
I
to quote Manny from that episode way
had that
back.
exact same experience yesterday. I've had like when my anxiety levels get high too, it's the same thing. It's like I physically have to force food into my mouth sometimes. And like I have so many sensory issues with food too. Sometimes like the only thing I can really muster up eating is just ingredients from the fridge for days. And like, I don't know. It's not something I want to strive to do. Something I want to actively
so focus on and
stop
devote more
working on it.
attention.
Yeah.
It already sucks up a lot of our lives to think about what we're gonna eat. Like, my girlfriend can trigger me by asking me what we're gonna eat. Like, that shit can send me on a spiral. Like, I don't know, because then we're gonna have to, if we have to cook, oh my gosh, if we have to cook at 6:00 at night and I don't want to cook. Well, if we're not going to cook, then we've got to spend at least $30 out because there's 2 of us and we've got to eat. Okay, well, maybe her mom made something. I don't always like what her mom eats because I'm a picky bitch. Damn. So there's or
right,
I just
aren't they
scavenge
on the bone, folks.
Yes, her mom makes really good Jamaican food. Her mom makes like literally the most authentic Jamaican food because they're Jamaicans, but I can't do bony meat. My girlfriend has to pick the meat off the bone for me. I'm a toddler. I trust her. And one time recently I was eating out of meat she told me she deboned, and a little bit of the gristle was in there, and it was in my mouth and it was sharp, and I was like,
it's
no.
Terrible.
I despise bones.
Yeah. I used to make my mom inspect any dark meat she gave me for anything that looked suspicious. And she'd have
capital S for suspicious.
It didn't matter if it was part of the chicken. But
what's
like,
that
it looks
stringy
different,
thing?
and I need like there's something stringy and I can't deal with this. Like,
that's
please
my
take
mom
it away.
learned to stop serving us pork chops because I was way too critical of pork.
I don't mind
chops.
like meat on the bone, but I'm gonna leave like a lot more behind than like Forrest will pick it clean. I mean, he doesn't anymore, but like
I use the bones to make broth.
Well, yeah.
I use bones. That's why I use bone-in chickens, because I save all the bones and then I make stock with it. So I don't really care about leaving meat on it because I do the same thing because I don't waste it. Because then I make soup.
I fear people would like roast me if I had to do like one of those chicken wing tests where it's like, how much meat do you leave behind on the chicken wing?
Oh my god!
I fear that any community really would probably roast me, but specifically the Black community would roast the fuck out of me.
We do not claim her.
We do not claim this
individual. Talk to a girl.
Because like when I really genuinely do not like. I'm not gonna eat that part that like is like gelatin, like it's white and it's like gelatinous and it's like basically cartilage. I'm not eating that.
No,
I am not gonna like suck around the knob to get off that piece.
Slob on the knob of the chicken.
I'm not slobbing on the knob of your fucking chicken bone. To do that, there's other chicken over there. Okay.
Now I want to see like how our wings compare.
We're gonna have to. You'll probably beat me.
We'll have to post them and be like, guess which one's Caroline's.
Guess which one's Caroline's and which one's Avis's.
Oh my god.
That's what we're gonna have to do. Maybe as the tie-in for this episode, we'll do that. Get wings especially for that. Be like, do it.
In this economy,
wings are more.
Tell me why 6 wings are like $15.
First of all, they said that the wings were on an all-time downward turn after this, like approaching the Super Bowl. They were like, it's eggs that you've got to like budget for, but it's like wings were at their lowest capital, like per pound. You could get like
Really?
Yeah.
Because it's ridiculous how expensive wings have gotten. Like, wings became popular because they were cheap, y'all. What are we doing?
We're going backwards.
And also delicious.
But yes, I love Manny's food
I love Manny's food
appreciation.
things.
She is me. We are we. But
yes. Oh man.
there are probably other notes, but do you guys have anything else that you want to say about these?
I think I can
plots?
move into. I was wondering if Manny's lucky jeans, are they Lucky Brand jeans, or are they just her lucky jeans, or are they her lucky Brand jeans?
This is a very
Probably
good
the
question.
last one.
I would hope the last one.
Her lucky Brand jeans.
Her lucky jeans.
Them Jones was expensive.
Yes.
Yeah, they were.
They still kind of are,
You can
depending
find it
on where you
TJ
go.
Maxx sometimes.
Yeah,
but
and TJ
only
Maxx
on a
is
very
sometimes
rare
quite
occasion.
expensive for me.
Yeah, seriously. Oh my
It
god.
depends what the fuck you go in there for. Because I'm like, I am $70.
Yeah,
$70
pretty
is
much
too much.
skincare and weird snacks. Oh my god, I got these things the other day. They were like one of these like Girl Scout cookie things that aren't actually Girl Scout cookies. The last one I got was little like Samoas as like a little ball.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It was really good. But then I got these lemon ones that were like little.
Ooh, I love lemon.
Little like shortbread cookie around this like cluster of like lemony goodness, and there was like just a hint of saltiness in them. Oh my god, I'm gonna like I gotta get back to TJ Maxx and buy every single bag that they have.
I love me
Because
anything
a
lemon,
snack
man.
doesn't stay at TJ for long.
Not at all. Not at all. Well, okay.
All right.
We can go
On that note.
Yeah. Go and do our fashion. I don't know why my iPad hates me. I need them to sync up with the photos I've taken. And it's not. Let me sync my shit. We have been recording for 4 hours.
Oh my god.
Everyone.
No, it's like 3.5.
I think it's been 3.5, yeah. We started at 10 my time.
Because it wasn't at 1? I was a little late.
Yeah, it's 4:30, so that's 3.5.
Oh, I don't know time. You know what I mean.
That's okay. I still love you.
It was a double episode.
It
was extra to discuss.
Super
I have
much.
I have 3, 4-ish things.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of fashion.
Okay.
One of them is not even technically a fashion corner. It's a Heather Sinclair.
Ooh, okay, so save that and we will I didn't know we had a Heather Sinclair.
Yes.
But we'll talk we will
Yes.
Oh yeah, I do know that. We will talk about that.
I picked it apart.
I know I meant to go back and rewatch the episode and see if I could find her in the background, but then life happened.
There's a very close-up foreground shot of her. Undeniably.
Yeah. My first one is Manny's like pink tube dress that she's wearing over a pair of jeans.
Yes, same.
Dress over jeans is always an automatic fashion corner, I think.
Those like super fucking platform pink sandals. Or flip-flop platform sandal. Yeah. God. They're just so not good. I wanted to note that Emma, and I guess this is because the episode spans a number of weeks, is an outfit repeater. She opens she opens the episode in the same outfit that we saw her in when we were discussing Eye Against Eye. She's got the brown, ombre vibe outfit, and then Manny also rewears that top in the same scene, I believe.
I bet you they filmed those scenes the same day.
I think they must have, because they're like, you guys aren't doing shit. Let's go. Why not? But then she opens the episode in the same like skirt with the not the skirt, the Bermuda shorts with the scarf at the waist and olive green camisole, yellow elbow shirt,
good
combo.
Paige outfit repeats too because she's wearing
Paige
that
outfit
like pearl
repeats too.
cardigan.
Yes. And she's wearing one of her signature chokers in the mall scene. That like blue flower bow situation. It's very
she wore that in Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Yeah, she wore it in Total Eclipse of the Heart as well. So she also is an outfit repeater. Also Paige and her shrugs all episode. I just am really obsessed with Paige's shrug moment.
I really liked the one in the like cafeteria scene where Alex is trying to apologize.
Yeah.
It was a good look.
Yeah. It's just so Paige. Like,
shrugs always bothered me. I was like,
too.
no, I don't like how this feels on my body.
Wasn't a fan.
I never understood the point of them. They don't keep you warm.
They were
I think it's more so to like cover spaghetti straps without really sacrificing the outfit too much.
Itself. I feel like they never looked good on me, and maybe that's why I hated them. But they were also
broad
just
shoulders,
same, and like I feel like there's just like a hump that just never that I have around my neck that never made those cute. But like Paige has delicate shoulders,
she
and
just looks really
it just fits her perfectly. It's like she's all
her
dainty.
Vibe so much, like all of her little accessories. New year, new look, new Paige.
So I did want to call attention to, the progression of Emma's dressing is so different from the first episode to the second. How she's got this cute little gray long sleeve shirt and this twirly navy blue skirt on in the same scene that Manny has the tube top dress. And also in that same scene, Spike's outfit would be okay. I actually like the shoes. I like the pants. The cut of them is okay. If it wasn't for that fucking bedazzled set of popsicles in the corner, like...
Oh, what is...
Did no one see that?
Those mushrooms?
Are they mushrooms? They look like popsicles. If they're mushrooms...
That's a choice.
That is certainly a choice. It definitely looks like something that you'd see on the rack at Forever 21 and be like, oh, that's so cute. And then you pull it off and it has that on it.
It's right. It's like, it can't just be a basic. Like, come on now. It's so bad. And it's like the weirdest top to put that on as well. I just thought that was a choice on Spike's part. They definitely could be magic mushrooms, but I don't like it. Either way, it doesn't, it's not cute. Does anybody have any more, or is it just mine?
The only other one that I had, is when Manny goes upstairs to sleep on the couch after Emma tells her that she's dating Peter. I just think it's really funny that she apparently goes to sleep on the couch in a denim miniskirt.
That outfit is... I mean, I think she's got like high, like knee, or not knee high, but like calf boots, like those like calf shoe boots that one would wear. Like Converse had a very popular pair, but I also know that we did not get her feet, and I'm upset. It's like the when we only got partially of one of the outfits I really like of hers a couple seasons ago. I'm like, why don't they show us the most interesting part of the outfit?
Literally.
Why put her in these pants or these boots, if not to show us these boots? These look like the most interesting part of the outfit. But yeah, she's gonna go sleep in that. Yeah.
I really like her like green striped sweater.
Yeah, it's cute.
She's talking to Peter, and then at the intervention, I thought that was a really cute look for her.
Yes.
Very like casual. And not like chaperone casual, but like actual casual.
But like actual casual. She has some red moments in this episode. I like the like varsity type shirt that she has when she's trying to fit into her lucky jeans. The red
A red halter.
sleeves. And yes, the red halter is so Manny. And I love it. It sucks that we only get partial viewage of it. I really like the one outfit that's unique for Alex this season, it seems like. With the green, like, open V-fly, like, button up. I really like how many
Yeah.
buttons there are on this shirt.
I also really like it.
It's a lesbian amount of buttons.
Amount of buttons.
Only a
And I thought
lesbian
that
has
they
the
were
patience to
like
put those together.
tassels at first, but I
Yeah.
just know that they're buttons.
I think they're really, really tiny snap buttons. Which would make this a very conservative top. But also Alex is just like looking really good this episode. It's very clear that she's like confident talking shit about Hazel. But I also like the brown pants that she has on with this shirt. And of course she's got her Adidas on the same way we see them when they're in the police station. She's like got them very like pumped up. Basically the laces are not doing their lace function. They're basically slip-ons at this point. I knew so many people who wore their Adidas specifically like this.
Yep.
Including my sister and my brother.
Yes.
My sister is a lesbian, in case you're wondering. Yes.
I did this with my shoes and same. So
the gay.
I guess it's a canon event.
I love it though. Because the other outfit that Alex gets is very like not notable. It's very gray, but I really like how she looks in the green. It's very cute, and I like that version of her more than putting her in like a hoodie, you know.
Yeah. She looks like herself.
Yeah.
She's starting to come into her like more responsible Alex era.
She is. And my final like fashion is, I don't know that we've seen this shirt before, but maybe we have, and that's why I like it so much on Manny. This like half.
I love that.
Yeah, it's like a half checkered, half like ocean blue, and it's got like yellow cap sleeves. I really like it. It's one of those statement tees. It doesn't really fucking mean anything, but it's cute as shit.
Cute. And it's so Manny.
It's very Manny. It's Manny's brand. It's not too. It doesn't got a like depth. That's not the point in the design. But it's like striking, and it's got bold colors. It's got like this electric, like hot pink
art vibe to it.
Yeah. I could be, yeah.
And it's really
got a
flattering.
93 in the middle. It's got like a 93 in white and then a black circle. And like, there's some details in this shirt that make it like really Manny. And it's like not simple. It's just busy enough to be, yeah, not a simple t-shirt. So much low rise in this episode. And I don't have any particular Emma post, in full on eating disorder throws like to call out. Just wanted to note that she does obviously start dressing noticeably layered and baggier and all of that. Her jeans become like baggy. Whereas like baggier than Alex wears almost, like, which is saying something. And so she definitely does have a fashion shift in the second episode that I don't have any standouts of. It's just all layered and baggy.
Yeah.
So we do have a hun count.
Yes.
And that hun count is 1. Hazel says hi, or not Hazel, Paige says hi hun to Hazel. And we also have Black Hole.
Beautiful.
We have 3 black holes, really, if we want to count Diane. But
I guess
we
so.
are never going to see Joey Jeremiah or Angie Jeremiah again.
That's
Rumor is they moved to Calgary. Diane went with them, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. Possibly.
Probably. She seems pretty held over in heels with this old man. But regardless of where they went, and if they went together or separately, they have gone.
They're
Yep.
gone. That's crazy.
Pour one out.
peace out, Joey.
That's
then
what
Wow.
happens when you're on this show for years. They just don't talk about your exit.
Sinclair.
Yep.
Oh yes, Heather Sinclair.
Heather Sinclair. Okay. At 4:14 in the second
Timestamp
episode,
ass.
timestamp if you want to get real specific about it. In the foreground, you see undeniably, because Alex talks about her immediately after, Heather Sinclair walk past in the foreground wearing you don't see her face, but you see the bottom of her hair, which is red and kind of wavy. And she's wearing a cap-sleeved black belly shirt with like 4 shapes on it that I can't make out clearly. And they might be butterflies. They kind of look like a yellow, green, blue, and pink butterfly. And she walks past, and then Alex immediately says, like, does anyone want to tell Heather Sinclair that belly shirts are so out or something like that? Like, just talking shit about her immediately as she walks past. And as far as I know, this is like the best shot, if any, I've ever been able to see of Heather Sinclair.
Yeah, that's not Scooter Girl. I've been saying it since yoga class, but she's not Scooter Girl.
She's not Scooter Girl.
No, she's not. Very different chicks.
Yes.
And from there, should we head on down to the bad side of town?
Pew, 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 pew.
Shots fired.
Who wants to start us off?
I have Spike first. Does anybody have Spike first?
I don't.
No.
Okay. Well, I'll go first then.
Okay.
I have Spike saying in response to Emma saying, Snake misses you. Spike saying how nice for him.
I've got Manny with a self-inflicted gunshot wound with my thighs are an epidemic and they're taking over the world.
I also put that down. My thighs are an epidemic and they're taking over the world.
Very much self-inflicted.
Yes. I also have from Emma when she is on a run with Manny and they get to the school steps and Snake is talking to her about the things that she's doing and she says she's training for cross country and he's like, "Oh, I didn't realize you were doing that." And she says, "The things you miss when you leave your family."
Absolutely.
I have that one too. I've got a few before that though. Do you, Avis?
Yes.
Okay, please share.
I have Joey saying to Snake, with a voice like that, it's no wonder the zits never went anywhere.
Before that, I have Manny when Emma hands her the journal saying, "I'm not eating paper no matter how many calories it has."
Yes. I have Diane saying, I heard him sing in the shower, Snake, and the pot should really stop calling the kettle black.
I have Paige saying to Manny and Emma, "Twigs and berries? You girls practicing to be on Survivor?"
Yes, absolutely. That was mine too. Okay, so then I'm up to the Emma line.
Yep.
After
that, I have Spike saying, "You didn't leave, Snake. I kicked you out. Remember?"
Yeah.
In that same scene, I have Spike saying, "You think a pan of moussaka is going to make everything better?"
In that same scene, I have says that he deserves to say her saying, "You had your say and it involved another woman."
Yep.
I have Spike saying, "You get out of my house now," But that's when Emma and Manny are already downstairs on the basement steps listening. Because that whole shit was just... that back and forth was very rude. So...
I have Manny, your body is a reflection of you. The agent is going to see you're undisciplined.
I have like all of the pro Anna quotes Emma was spewing the whole episode. Hunger is a feeling, Manny. Thin is a skill. Nothing tastes as good as pretty feels.
Oh gosh, nothing tastes as good as pretty feels, Jesus. Before that Manny line, I have Diane saying, "Come on, women don't want an episode of This Old House."
Speak for yourself, Diane.
Like, I don't want a handyman out this bitch. But in that same conversation, though, just Manny saying the agent is going to see that I have energy and rosy cheeks, and then I don't have puke breath.
So true.
And then Emma saying, "This is so typical Manny when the going gets tough," or give up when the going gets tough.
Yeah. But she's like, doesn't she also say, like, it's grease and fat and calories? You might as well pour poison down your throat. And she's like, there's a little too much crazy in here. Like, yeah.
I have Emma saying that's funny when Hot Sauce says, "I'm here for you."
Yes. I'm here for you, Emma.
Read the room. That's a lot.
Read the fucking room, Miss
Emma
H.
toes the line between trying to, like, she really wants to say some off the cuff shit to Hatzilakos, and she just can't, or she's gonna
Don't
get
talk
fucking
to me,
suspended.
Slut.
Yeah. You harlot.
Don't talk to me, slut, like what? I have Spike saying, "Are you selling roses in restaurants? What's with the penguin suit?"
I'd like to fire a shot at Spike for calling it a penguin suit.
Penguin suit.
No one calls it that anymore, Spike.
I have when Emma says, "Are you guys finally going to stop calling yourselves by your high school nicknames?"
Yes. I had to put right before that, though, Spike saying, not the... I mean, I don't like how she says, no kissing anybody but me ever again, but I had to include
anybody but me.
And no singing ever again.
And no singing ever again. I also put that one down. Oh my god.
What's your next one, Emily?
I don't have any other ones other than I wrote down, this isn't even a shots fired. It's in, I think, the second episode, and Alex and Paige or like Hazel and Paige are talking about what the three of them can do together to like get each other to like them. And Toby leans over and is like, "I could do you guys some fake IDs. Take you ladies on a pub crawl."
Oh my god!
And it was just such a random, weird, funny line. I just
Toby
had to write it down. That's the last shot that I have fired, and it's not a shot fired, but it was weird.
I
had to
say shot
something.
At the writers for making Toby say that in the accent.
Yes, why did he say it like that?
Someone should have either vetoed the line or the accent. One of those did not have to stand, or both would have been great.
Or most of what they do to Toby throughout the years.
Most of what they do to Toby.
Poor Toby. Poor Toby.
My next one is Emma saying, "I'm tired of you being needy McNeedersons all the time. Sorry if I have a life."
Oh my god.
I have Manny saying, "And by the way, your hands are colder than my Nana's at her funeral."
Alex saying, "Will somebody please send Heather Sinclair a memo that belly shirts are out?"
I have I don't know the health teacher's name, but
Mr. Ellis.
Mr. Ellis, thank you. Mr. Ellis saying, "Miss Nelson, I hope you are back there whispering about endocrine glands." And I was like, yeah, Glen City. And she's like, good, because if you don't ace year-end exams, I'll be seeing you in summer school. Like the filth for which
the
that
weirdest
teacher didn't need to read
shit
her.
that Emma says throughout the years, like Gland Central over here, and
Gland
if
Central
fun
over
was
here.
people, I'd be China.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just like a squirrel. I'm just a
A
little squirrel. Haven't you seen Napoleon Dynamite?
I have Alex saying, and hearing the word dull, Hazel magically appears.
Yes. Right after that, Alex says, hope the lessons about, because Hazel's like, see you in bio. And Alex says, hope the lessons about becoming interesting on a cellular level, because Hazel could really use it.
I have Manny saying to Peter, so what's your favorite thing to teach? Grammar? Composition? Getting girls drunk and filming them with their tops off?
Yeah. I had right before that, Emma said, or Emma says, like, I have a lot of interests or something, and I like something like that. And Manny's like, what, jogging? Like, this all you care about anymore, bitch.
I also have her telling Peter, quit the hero act, Peter. You're not fooling anyone. We all know you're scum.
Mm-hmm. I have Hazel in the back and forth with Alex. The only thing that really stuck out to me, it's like, girl, like, you know, you're kind. And she's like, what, lesbian? And she's like, no, the style impaired. It's like,
oh my God.
That is such a Hazel Page, like, season 2 insult. Like, like, they are so fucking, like, and that is the hit that I think Paige only is gonna get.
Yep.
I have fucking Darcy. Oh no, I think I see an extra ounce over here on your right cheek.
Crazy thing to say.
Crazy thing to say.
Is it
fuck yourself and your eye fat, Darcy?
Oh, seriously, eye fat. Is it Darcy that says, or no, I thought it was Manny that said, does Shaq know that you borrowed his suit and didn't give it back or whatever, his tracksuit?
Yep.
Like, why are they fucking with her like this?
Seriously, she's clearly struggling so hard. Like,
it's a self-inflicted gunshot wound for her to be like, you think it's funny to point at the tub of lard, or to laugh at the tub of lard? I know what's wrong, so you can stop pointing it out. And then they're like, yo, are you good? Like, no! She's
not!
She is dressed in like 3 trash bags. Do you know she's not okay? She is struggling.
It's giving Toby in season 2.
Oh my gosh, it really is. Like, I'm fine. Go suck your blood and leave me alone. Or go drink your blood, whatever he says to Ashley. Emma.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Emma coming down the stairs when Manny shoves the questionable contents of the sandwich in her face, and she's like, I don't have time for your girl interrupted today.
Oh, I have a bunch between now and then.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I have Hazel saying to Alex, no offense, but I don't think you're ready for the big leagues. Can you even afford these clothes?
Yes.
Which, fuck you, Paige, because I would have left right then. Like, if I were Paige, I would have been like, okay, we're done here. Alex, let's go.
Paige is like, let's be then.
Yeah.
And then I have Alex saying, when Paige is like, here, try this shrunken blazer. And she goes, I think it may be a little too shrunken for Hazel's body type.
Yes.
And then her saying to Hazel, do I detect jealousy? Tell me, how long have you wanted to kiss Paige?
Boom,
roasted.
My gosh.
Boom,
so good.
Roasted.
My last one is Manny saying, good for you, Peter. Learning to read is very important.
That was a good one. Before that, I have Emma saying, Manny, save the drama for your next audition. We're not interested. And then for my last one, I have, you guys are all so perfect. You take advantage of drunk girls. You are the drunk girl. And last time, you were
making out with his mother. Yeah, she was sitting on that for so long.
She's
pissed.
She's like, how dare you question me?
Seriously, God. Wow.
Beautiful.
So, do you want to start with the shining stars or the super bummers?
Why don't we get the bummers out of the way? I feel like we'd like to end on the shining stars.
Emma.
Yeah.
Emma was
I
kind
feel
of
for her, but
worse.
she's bumming me out.
Empathy does not equate
Not being bummed out.
not being bummed out by you, because I was bummed out by you. Spike. I was bummed out by Spike. Did she do what she was supposed to do eventually? But why do you revert into like making your teenage daughter carry the brunt of the emotional labor and the literal labor in the fucking household?
Yeah.
You
Seriously.
suck. You're the adult.
Seriously.
Baby Jack.
Baby Jack. Fuck Baby Jack.
Baby Jack. Yeah, he could go fuck himself.
Honestly, Snake, you're still a bitch for what you did in the theater with hot sauce.
Should have never kissed another woman. Like, what the fuck?
Rented that suit.
Also, again, if a man sung to me in public, I would shoot him with a gun. So...
And does anyone have a gun so I can shoot this man? Yeah, not a good. Please check with someone before you publicly serenade them. Okay? Especially like that. That particular song. You got to know your key.
Oh, devastating.
It was giving that scene with Rick Moranis from Parenthood, except thoroughly unenjoyable.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it was giving the scene from The Family Man with Nick Cage and Tia Leone, but like not heartwarming. Look that if you're not familiar, that's a sweet like actual like okay, he can't sing, but it's sweet that he's serenading her in public and this is love that you want. This is not that scene. Spike looks so desperately like mortified by this, and she is just like, oh, this is how it felt to be a fan of your band in high school, in middle school and high school. Right.
Truly.
You guys were terrible. Transported. Who else was really in this episode to be a bummer? Craig from England. No, he's not in England. He's from Vancouver. Probably running amok, snorting some shit already.
Let's see.
I feel like Hazel and Alex, like interchangeably, like they come together and they like are initially bummers, but I think ultimately Paige annoys me a little bit more because she flip-flops between like wanting to trash Alex and Hazel interchangeably and then wanting to defend them interchangeably.
Yeah.
So she naturally pits them against each other.
Yeah.
And then expects them to not be pitted against each other.
Yeah.
She is the common denominator. I just think that she sucks and doesn't really do anything to... They are the ones that come together and be like, we care about this relationship, we're gonna fix it.
Yeah, what ultimately brings them together is them bonding about the high maintenance,
the trauma,
of Paige.
And yeah, so I would say Paige for me it was a bummer, and Hazel and Alex saved that dynamic.
Bring us into our shining stars, because I'd say Hazel and Alex get them.
Yeah, because they were actual, like they literally were like, I care about this relationship. Do you care about this relationship? Yeah. Okay, so how are we going to fix it? Because we can't just keep doing this. This is going to result in neither of us having the relationship that we care about work out.
Right.
Which is very fucking mature. And most adults don't have the capability to like wave that pride flag and be pride flag, to wave the like, okay, I'm going to lay down my pride and actually try to work and figure out what to do about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Manny clearly shines.
Oh, Manny was doing the absolute.
She was doing the most.
This is giving first episode vibes. like to the up like on another level of friendship because they don't she's not fucking with Emma right now. Emma has committed the ultimate betrayal and she is still her best friend.
Yeah. Like, there is literally nothing that Emma can do that will make Manny stop caring about her well-being.
Clearly.
She's like, I can't be the person to keep an eye on you anymore, so here, scumbag, here, take it.
Even though Emma literally did the complete opposite to her. Like, she has no reason to be this good of a friend and every right to walk away.
No, actually. It would be respectful to herself and no one would blame her for walking away. That would be self-care for her to walk away. But the fact that she does walk away before being like, hey, I'm not doing this shit with her anymore, but like you should know she is not well. You need to keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
Like wow.
That's incredibly mature of her.
She is 17. This shit is
a child.
Manny has been.
She has been this way. Yeah. But it keeps evolving because it's like she has been hurt so many times by Emma, and she keeps proving that she is still holding Emma down.
Yeah.
And is like willing to follow Emma into an eating disorder.
God, I hope she's.
Me too. I think she is. It can be canon that she's free for us.
Yes.
That she is.
She's got great friends to celebrate her and build her up.
And honor her boundaries. And like when people do her wrong, they fight for her.
Yeah.
And they love her enough
and they
to tell
love
her when she's fucking up.
Absolutely, because that's the quality of a
but
very
not like
good
gleefully
friend.
like Emma.
No, it's just constructively like I care about you, and this is some shit which I will not put. I'm not editing that. It is definitely like Manny is the ultimate best friend in this episode. She's 100% a shining star.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else?
Those three. I don't really think there's anyone.
I mean, I think that's fair.
Yeah. Because we put Spike, Emma, and Snake, and Baby Jack.
He didn't even do anything this week.
He didn't even do anything.
He was like
quiet there.
And he had his little feet up. He had his little cute feet up, his little baby feet. Still go in the chokey.
Vegetarian moussaka.
Go in the chokey. Right. He did not puke. He's like, I'm still a bummer. Yes. Your mere presence bums me out, boy. But yeah, I mean, I guess if they go in there, that category, then the other players in this episode must go in the other category. I don't care enough about Joey. Angie is looking like a grown-ass woman.
You know what? I'm gonna give it to Diane.
Diane did give solid advice.
If Diane had not been there, Snake would have been like, I changed your oil. Why don't you still hate me?
I was going to say that. Shining star, for sure. That's true. Because he totally would have showed up ready and armed to change her oil and fix that leaky faucet. And she would have been like, bitch, I never want to see you again. Like, take your fucking tool belt and bounce, bitch.
Maybe your girlfriend has something for you to fix, but I'm not interested.
Yeah. I think that's definitely fair. That's a good stack. That's basically everybody in the episode. Joey can be neutral. I don't give a fuck. Joey, well, he's terrible, but he's not harmfully terrible. He didn't bum me out. He entertained me.
Yeah.
He was a jester, if you will.
He was just there for a silly time.
Does it go there?
Does it go there?
Does it go there?
Disorder. Dating the boy who sex crimes your bestie.
Yeah, that's pretty out there.
Eating disorder. Public embarrassment. Penguin suits.
The penguin suit.
Public. Actual, like, counter hopping to take a piece of equipment belonging to an establishment.
Yes. So, getting kicked out of the mall 2 times.
It's like mall detention.
Like getting mall detention with your friends. I think it goes there.
I think it goes there.
Like, I feel like this episode also goes there in the way that, like, people talk about it a lot as a specific episode arc, I feel. Like, there's lots
Definitely.
of discussions about this specific 2 episodes and the time around it.
It is a good capsule
Yeah.
of an issue.
Mhm.
Like, they do a good job with the 22 minutes on each end that they have to,
Mhm.
like, make a good, well-rounded story, and the 2 episodes kind of have different tones of, like, this
Mhm.
is the beginning of the issue, and this is, like, the big, like, the height of it, and then the climax. And
Mhm.
it does a really good job with the pacing. I feel like a lot of two-parters, even though you have more time, they still don't feel pacing isn't right, but this is really well paced. It's very well acted, and I think that's partially why
Mhm.
people keep coming back to it. Is like Miriam is so fucking good.
Yeah,
She hits
she's
all of her mark
incredible.
and then some.
Mhm.
And obviously, I don't think we even touched on it, but like they drew from her personal experience for this episode. So
Mm.
the fact that they made her act this shit out is another
Yeah.
level of answer for your fucking crimes,
Yeah.
Degrassi
No,
writers.
wasn't it, like, after she had lost her sister to an ED?
I
Oh
think
my
s I think
god.
s I think so. I'm
Oh,
not
wow.
super so that part I know happened, but the sequence of events on that, I'm not 100% sure of, but
Oh,
I
that's
think so.
devastating.
Yeah, we
It's
low-key have
very
some beef with the
insensitive.
creators.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's very insensitive, and I think they did that with other minor storylines that weren't
Yeah.
as like with Manny's thong thing, like that was
Mhm.
something Cassie said that she did before and then was surprised to see it in the pages of the show, but that was also happening on the old set. You know, they did that too
Mhm.
Yeah,
to those actors in semi, innocuous ways.
but there's just, like, that this particular one's so heavy.
This is
Yeah.
heavy, especially for Miriam. Just the subject matter is heavy, but also to have experienced it in multiple devastating ways, not just to experience it personally, but then to have it be like the trauma of having it take her sister,
Yeah.
like having to act like she did it. Like, it's chilling to watch her
Yeah.
performance, and I think that's probably a lot of why people are drawn to it, is 'cause it's so
Mhm.
true,
Yeah.
and it feels very it almost doesn't feel like acting,
Yeah.
because
I
it's
was
almost not
wondering about
acting.
that as I was watching this episode because it just felt very authentic. Like, it
Yeah,
yeah.
because I
Yeah,
It
mean,
was really genuine.
it's
I feel like
sucks.
maybe that's a new segment.
Yeah,
Does Skylar
the
come back here
lore.
and answer for these
Mhm.
crimes?
No, I think that would be a good just to get the lore, like, when we have it, because like,
Mhm.
this is a very big episode, like you were saying,
Yeah.
Emily, and it's a one people really call to when they talk about their most
Mhm.
remembered and everything. We had a question in the Degrassi group I moderate for, what was your most remembered storyline or episode? And a lot of it was like Emma's anorexia storyline, Emma's
Yeah.
ED storyline, like
Yeah.
up there with Jimmy getting shot and JT getting stabbed
Oh my
and
god.
Cam unaliving and all of that.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
there's just like it stands out because it is so authentic,
Mhm.
but it's also so like well acted. Like
It's
I
well
think
acted and, like, it's a pretty profound character checkpoint for her as well. Like,
Mhm.
that is a really defining moment that is going to always follow her and potentially come back for the
Yeah.
rest of time. And
Right.
so, yeah, I don't know. It really just changes, it adds an entire new layer of context to her character that she didn't have before, too.
Right. It does. It is very good episode. I
It's
think.
just a really excellent episode.
Thanks for listening to your mom's podcast. Next week, Dylan returns and Liberty comes crashing out of her 9-month haze in total eclipse of the heart.
Oh, do I read the sponsor part?
If you'd
Por
like.
favor.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. This episode of Your Mom's Podcast was made possible in part by Ooey Gooey Masaka, jealousy, and support from listeners like you.
Thank you for letting us have many hours of your life.
Oh my God.
We would like to take a moment to thank our Patreon subscribers. Tay,
Evie,
Miranda,
and an extra special thank you to our TiddySnake producers, Alyka,
Brandi,
Chelsea,
Corrie.
and Tawny. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you guys. Love you.
If you'd like to further support our show, you can find us on TikTok and Facebook as Your Mom's Pahdcast. We also have a Facebook group of the same name. And you can find us on Instagram at YMPadcast. Your Mom's Pahdcast is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. Subscriptions and reviews are another great free way to support us. However, if you're interested in supporting us in not free ways, we have a lot of great bonus content on our Patreon, and some great merch at our shop, which can be found at your-moms-padcast-shop.fourthwall.com. And remember, that's Pahdcast. Pahdcast. Thank you.